Yeah, 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 yeah. On up back, made us mad. Fuck send on my ass, run up a bag. Since I breathe envy, made haters mad. 5 plays, run a trap, stack 100 bands. Made myself a boss plug, then put on my man. Addicted fast money, cars and one man. Wearing phone clothes, ice out, strap, I blam. Stick tuck with kamikaze like the Taliban. Stick tuck with kamikaze like the Taliban. Feel like night and shine on me when I'm covered in diamonds. Turn to burn, not guilt, getting work on consignment. Waka striking nerve, money follow with violence. Got a reason stand strapped, can't leave home without. Move mom out the hood, go nowhere, I'm still buying. Spend thousands on clothes and shoes, I like it, I buy it. Next mission broke the rules, move with a cooler silence. Won't let it sing up the school, spin on ops dying. Get a thumb without mind if you strap with chores. Get a drink a break, switch from the blick, less it's smooth. We all on the same tune, a pillow struck a nerve. Everything I want, I pay the price, no one take long. Close, I ain't gonna wear, won't have much longer. My circumstance changed, cause I still got my hunger. Ignorance is bliss, only one can me like a gun. Pockets filled, every lit hit, they sick to these some. Hate more on the weekend for the gas than the Wednesday. No doubt, hesitation, re-up. I got people taking piece at all costs, cause I'm big on energy. Believe my man came home and seen the kids' face. Hate more on the weekend for the gas than the Wednesday. No doubt, hesitation, re-up. I got people taking piece at all costs, cause I'm big on energy. Believe my man came home and seen the kids' face. Fuck send on my ass, run up a bag. Since I breathe envy, made haters mad. 5 plays, run a trap, stack 100 bands. Made myself a boss plug, then put on my man. Addicted fast money, cars and one man. Wearing phone clothes, iced out, strap, I blam. Stick tuck with kamikaze like the Taliban. Stick tuck with kamikaze like the Taliban. Think I broke my neck and wrist, cause I keep some ice on. Like girls with like girls, fuck me, I'm a woman. But wearing gloves and masks, wait before Corona. Shitting on my haters, foot cleaning in my colon. I say so I'm a hood, I can get a nigga gone. But cheese on your top, my pocket got lumps. Let a nigga play back, won't get a nigga slump. Bend new the wrist when I first took the jump. Better plug up what you need, just in my phone. Saying design up in forms, push my cologne. Bitch better got big dude right, cause I sports. Piranhas in the swamp, and the sharks in the wall. Most of demons on demon time, but proud is not jewel. Love something like stunner, ball like Kurt for cool. Be the 5th star, you on, I gotta talk to my lawyer. Always last one to leave, first out in the morning. So rubber sticking up and I'll blast. We drop up and pick ups like a cab. Everything I have, I got off for the trap. Like #1 stunner, I'ma stun with the cash. Know it's hard to top, the run that I had. Might blow 20 ball, hit a play and get it back. When I position contract, I expand. When I position expand, I contract. Fuck send on my ass, run up a bag. Since I breathe envy, made haters mad. 5 plays, run a trap, stack 100 bands. Made myself a boss plug, then put on my man. Addicted fast money, cars and one man. Wearing phone clothes, ice out, strap, I blam. Stick tuck with kamikaze like the Taliban. Stick tuck with kamikaze like the Taliban. Yeah. Get stuffed on the designer, hop before iced out, hit the toe and designer, let her eat the dick down, then buy her designer. Chanel, Dior, Hermes, Gucci and Prada. Off-white on the off day, Dolce and Gabbana. Chanel, Dior, Hermes, Gucci and Prada. Off-white on the off day, Dolce and Gabbana. He got game for emojis, took risks and prosper. Order hit slide through consent to the dot. Like I talk, guap beneath trap, lingo never proper. Money over Betty, son of business, keep choppers. Bump down, knock, snoop down, one prime rock. Got with Glocks up, my youngest on fire. What you make in 2 weeks? I can make it in hours. Sorry, I was trapping, bipping flowers and powder. Came up shooting dice, I'm just being honest. Just my ball bag, I'm fucking up cars. Strongest, you can link, run with circle or boss. She's naming niggas 50 cause look, I need my Marcus. Had to cut my losses, now my money guaranteed. More money, more promise. Hit you can succeed. From the school to the pros ball, like the Major League. Bet the Betty's on me, like the paparazzi. It's a bit pop place with the trap up in designer. Always just a kill, get stuffed on the designer. Hop before iced out, hit the toe in designer. Let her eat the dick down, then buy her designer. Chanel, Dior, Hermes, Gucci and Prada. Off-white on the off day, Dolce and Gabbana. Chanel, Dior, Hermes, Gucci and Prada. Off-white on the off day, Dolce and Gabbana. To hang with the members, get your body to sign up. Tell me you a gangster or a bitch, making mine up. Product of my environment, got rich selling product. Only go can judge me how I'm coming to my time. On the hunt for money and bags and finding stuff. Trap luxury cars and clothes and finding stuff. I like the baddest things and strict melodic as fuck. Got a gift for gap, shit lick me like a lollipop. Make a one, take a top off and give me some top. Always pull up in the top off when I'm in a drop. Stay designer, hit the feet, down to the socks. Addicted to spending cash, ice chain in a watch. Make a one, take a top off and give me some top. Always pull up in the top off when I'm in a drop. Stay designer, hit the feet, down to the socks. Addicted to spending cash, ice chain in a watch. So flip-flop place for the trap up in designer. Always just a kill, get stuck on the designer. Hop before I'm iced out, hit the toe in designer. Let her eat the dick down, then buy her designer. Chanel, Dior, Hermes, Gucci, and Prada. Off-white on the off-day, Dolce and Gabbana. Chanel, Dior, Hermes, Gucci, and Prada. Off-white on the off-day, Dolce and Gabbana.
Yes, sir. Your boys is back in the building. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what to do. Smash that like button and share the video because we about to talk some hoops right here in the zone on FYF Sports Debates. And I ain't by myself. It's yours truly, Moose Talks Hoops. And I got my dogs up in here with me, man. TruDaking TV, Renegade, and my brother from another mother, SoKrazyTV. With another episode, fellas, man. What's shaking with y'all?
What's good? Yo,
man. How y'all doing,
Everybody
man?
feeling, man?
Hey, shout out Spiffy Little Kitty too, though, man. I be turned up.
Man, that intro fire, man.
Giving y'all a little something to rock to while we get ready. You feel me? Y'all smash that like button and share the video, man. We got a great show for y'all, man. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to the chat, man. We got the realest chat on YouTube right here on In the Zone. It ain't many of us, but less is more. So there's plenty of us, man. Fellas, a lot of stuff going on in these NBA streets, man. I mean, OGs, YGs, 90s, current era. It's like Clash of the Titans, man. Clash of the Thoughts. We got Anthony Edwards, man, of all people. The number one guy Jordan stands were parading around as the heir apparent, the next one. They was comparing him in the playoffs to 88 Jordan. And now Edwards is in hot water with Jordan stands and lovers of 90s basketball, man. He had some real critical comments of that era, man. TruDaking, why don't you let the people know what we talking about over here, bro?
Man, we talking about, man, the controversy, man, these past couple of days, man. Every Edwards said, man, Michael Jordan was the only skilled player in the 90s. Then proceeds to say he didn't watch the 90s. So on the Wall Street Journal, too, he said this in the Wall Street Journal. Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. It's wild, man. I don't know. Like, it's I mean, like, I listen, you can have your opinion. No, the crazy thing is, like, you can have your opinion, but then you can't sit there and say that and then say you didn't watch it.
Yeah,
like,
fact.
I mean, that's the crazy. That was the crazy thing about it. It's like, all right, even if you is wrong, it's like, but you just chatting that you. I mean, he was chatting. He low-key was chatting.
I mean, can you blame the kid?
Yeah, he's chatting, man. Can't say that. Man.
It's not even about even earning the right though. It's you just chatting. You can't just sit there and say, Michael Jordan was the only skilled stuff in the night. It's like, man, I don't let this right here the best cook in the game, or like this is the best chef in the town, but I only went to one restaurant. Like, it's like, come on, like, you know what I mean? You just chatting. You can't just be saying.
But at the same time, right? At the same time, you are right. And Edwards came out. He was asked basically, what's the difference between older generations and his generation now? You know what I mean? And, you know, he brought it up. He said he didn't watch 90s basketball. I mean, he's only 23, just had his 23rd birthday. He's only 23, rightfully so. That's how he feels. But when you look at it, right, somebody like Ant Edwards, a youngin' like Ant Edwards, 23, all he knows about from the 90s is Jordan. Jordan is the only one being fed to these people from the 90s.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of guys, a lot of hoopers, a lot of legends from that era get tore down with this ring conversation, and Jordan gets propped up. So now you are having a younger generation who didn't watch Jordan and being forced this Jordan narrative. They're looking at it like, okay, Jordan had to be the only one skilled back then, but he did come out and said he didn't watch it, and we know he didn't watch it. And he said, a lot of people say things were tougher back then, but he said, guys are more skilled now. The only skilled guys were Michael Jordan back then. And he refers to when Kobe Bryant came in the league and everybody being in awe of Kobe Bryant and Kobe Bryant being the heir apparent. You know what I mean? So I see where he's coming from, but factually, is he right? Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. We know the 90s were littered with hoopers, guys that were underrated, guys whose stories have been held under the wraps, and guys that deserve more props. You know what I mean? But when you're trying to push a certain Jordan narrative, those guys get pushed to the back burner, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it be, man. I mean, unfortunately, what y'all thoughts on it? Like Renegade?
I feel like he should never said that though. I feel like he should have. If you only think MJ was the most skilled, then and you didn't watch it, then he should have never spoke on it in the first place. It's crazy though. He getting all this backlash now. Magic spoke about it, and then KG, Isaiah Thomas too. So I mean,
we're gonna get into all of that. We're gonna show their reactions.
If he didn't know anything about the 90s, then I feel like he should have never said nothing to begin with. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yo, Renegade, what's your thoughts though, Renegade? I know you want to cook on this, man.
I mean, yeah, he shouldn't have said nobody, but I mean, the fact remains, we all know that we all know about weak sauce in the 90s, and that it was a depleted league, and I mean, look, if you know about it, heard about it, regardless of, I mean, listen, yeah, he should have watched more games and things of that nature, but the bottom line premise as the lack of skill that is in was in the 90s, it's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? You go back and you watch the games and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they got some people with talent and things of that nature, but you go down them rosters, it's clear. You know what I'm saying? Like Moose had dropped a video, what that was last week, about the guy that came from out of nowhere across season just because he's a 7-footer. They threw his ass out on the court in the playoffs. It'll never happen in life. These days, never in life. It can't ever happen. So don't come out here telling me that Anthony Edwards capping, and then he capping. You shouldn't have said no. Nobody has skill and everything like that. But when he's talking about lack of skill, do not come up here and act as if what he said was BS. Like, we can't run down these rosters and you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like, don't do that. Shout out to Ed. He was wrong in what he said, but it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
No, but nobody's saying. Listen, we understand there's more skill. Like, there's more skill to, like, now it is back then. But saying it was no skill, like Jordan was the only skilled player. That
was obviously that's way out of bounds.
But look at how they coming at him. But look at how they coming at him with their response though. They not coming at him how we coming at him. They coming at him saying that he couldn't even play back then. Come on, man. Now see how they dragging.
Hey, hold on. We gonna get to that.
They dragging it. Yeah.
Okay, but you just said that ain't nobody saying that. Oh, they didn't have no. But you got it. But that is cap because how they talking about it when in their response.
Hey, you right.
Come on, man.
Too wrong.
Come on, man. Right. So if we step on, so if we in the younger generation step on their neck, no, you nice all cries and boo-hoos and you're being disrespectful, but you turn around in the same breath and say you couldn't even compete. when we know for a fact the lack of competition that you goddamn win against, man. Come on, man.
Hey, speaking of that though, man, a legend. Y'all see the title? Y'all see the something? A legend, man. A legend, man. Came out and responded to the comments, man.
Let's check it out, man. A lot of people had a lot to say, man.
Magic Johnson, man. Magic Johnson. My man, Magic Johnson, man. Magic Johnson. Oh, let me see here. Boom. Hold on, let me see. I got my. See if I can.
It's a slow cooking.
Yeah, there we go.
Come on, man.
Tell me if y'all can
I can see it, yeah.
Y'all can see it and everything. Tell me if y'all can hear it.
No, we can't hear it.
No, we can't hear it, bro.
You say you can't hear?
No, sir.
No, we can't. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see. My fault. My photo. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Okay, be true. Hold up.
Yeah, I gotta hear it in person. I read.
Y'all see it? Y'all see it?
Read the transcript, but
y'all see it?
Yeah.
Nah, not yet.
Hold up, let me see.
I watched the clip, man. Magic went in.
Oh, there we go. Y'all see it?
No, I ain't seen it on my end, bro.
Let's see. Hold on. What the hell? Sound screen. Hold up. I'm trying to see why it won't play. Hold up. I'm trying to get it to play. Let me see. Boom. But yeah, Magic Johnson had some comments. Y'all saw the comments?
Yeah, I seen it.
What's y'all thoughts on it?
I feel like he trying to defend the 90s, man. He trying to defend his boys. That's what he doing. But to go even further and say the man didn't win a championship
my fault. Y'all see it now?
To winning.
Yeah, we can see it, bro.
All right, let's see if we can play. Y'all hear it?
No, I don't hear it yet.
No, I don't hear it.
Edwards just
okay,
said
now we good.
The other day that there really wasn't any skilled players in the NBA back in the day outside of Michael Jordan. That's what he said. Your response to that, Irvin Magic Johnson?
Well, I don't never respond to a guy that's never won a championship.
It's a slow grind.
Say he didn't win a college championship.
Dang.
I don't know if he even won a high school championship. So
not an AU.
Not an AAU championship.
Not an AAU.
But the thing is, man, Magic, you see what he did right there? Magic said he wasn't going to respond, but he still responded to the kid, man. Still responded to the kid. And then to say that, we know Ant didn't win nothing in the NBA. But to go even further and say he ain't win nothing in college and high school, now you attacking this man.
Yeah, he in his feelings, man. He still played. He lashing out.
Man.
He did win a living gold medal. He got a living gold medal.
Yeah, he got a gold medal. Yeah, but
well, I don't think he.
It was a slow cooking.
I don't think Ant need to respond to talk championship with Magic Johnson though.
Nah, he can't.
He can't. Of course not. He ain't gonna do that. Yeah. He probably don't even say nothing back.
Cause Magic got NCAA championship, a gold medal. He probably got a high school championship too, if I'm not mistaken. So he don't want to get no talks. And that was a personal shot because
that was a shot.
Because if y'all noted, remember Edwards coming into the NBA, that was the thing about him not being a winner. If y'all remember him not being a winner, he had the talent and he was God gifted, but it was like that's why I think he wasn't a first pick in the draft because he didn't win nowhere before in no type of high school. I don't think he wanted AAU or nothing like that. So it's like, I mean, that was the kind of the negatives against him. So him saying that, Magic know he was doing. Magic know he was doing. And I was like, yeah, he went blow.
He was. And I mean, I would have loved for Magic to like not flex rings on Ant Edwards. I would have loved to see Magic take that opportunity to educate Ant Edwards. You know what I mean? Instead of like using a lazy argument of, I'm not speaking to anybody that got rings. I mean, you obviously speaking to it because you was asked, you said you were not going to respond, but that was your response. And like, if we're going to be fair, right? If we're going to be fair to everybody involved, it's a lot of exaggeration going on both ends of the spectrum. Right. You know what I mean? There's exaggeration going on in this era about how weak the 90s were, and there's exaggeration going on in the older generation where they feel like guys can hoop in a generation. If we're gonna be honest, right? Let's be honest. We all know what Ant Edwards said was left field. We all know that. You know what I mean? Whether the excuses we make for him saying that has something to do with the Michael Jordan media propaganda, that's something else. But factually speaking, we know that's real left field for him to say nobody has skills then. Not if you look at entire rosters, yeah, the end of the bench, certain bench guys, yeah, no way in hell they would hoop in this era. But greatness begets more greatness, and greatness trumps everything, man. If you was great in any era, I feel like you could be great in all eras across the board, because given the times they were in, given the advancements in sports science, given the advancement of watching a certain amount of basketball or evolution of basketball, if you was great in the 80s, you could have been great in 2020. If you was great in the 2000s, you could have been great in the 70s. If you was great in the 80s, you could have been great in the 90s or the 2010s. You know what I mean? Greatness, it exceeds all the other things. It trumps everything, man. If you great in one era, you're going to be great in another era, man. So I just feel like it's a lot of exaggeration from both sides. And at the same time, I would have loved for Magic Johnson, instead of flexing his rings on it, because you Magic at the end of the day. Magic compared to Ant Edwards, bro, you Magic Johnson at the end of the day. You don't get no cool points by flexing rings on Ant Edwards. I would have liked to see Magic Johnson take that opportunity and educate the youngin and say, hey, little bro,
high route, nigga.
Hey, little homie, take the high road, like Renegade said. Say, hey, little homie, you know what I mean? These guys could have played, all the greats from the 90s could have played in any era, flat out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I mean, but Magic too, like, I mean, and also I see people in the comment section. I see y'all like Magic Johnson is more skilled than Anthony Edwards, y'all. I mean, so he could have won that bag too. Oh, don't do it. Come on, Renegade. We ain't doing that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, skilled in what? What is he still passing, right? That's it.
Yeah, better passer, better rebounder.
He's not better.
That's
shooter.
a skill.
Okay.
He's a better
we ain't gonna mention obvious
and
stuff.
shoots better.
We ain't gonna mention obvious stuff. Like, we're not gonna mention obvious stuff.
Rebound. You got it.
I'm just saying.
How about defense? Who's a better defender?
Come on.
But I'm just saying.
All right.
I'm just saying. As a scorer and a defender, yeah, I give you that. And but Magic is passing is a skill. Rebound is a skill.
Bro, if you really think about it, right? If you put Magic Johnson, right, a 19-year-old Magic Johnson, right now, with the skill set he had back then, if you add in basketball evolution, bro, Magic Johnson would still be Magic Johnson. We might have seen a better version of Magic Johnson in this era. He might have been a better scorer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
he probably work on his shot since the deep ball.
He might have been a greater scorer. He might have been a greater ball handler. You know what I mean? The passing was always going to be the passing. You know what I mean? He might have been like he might have been LeBron in this era if you add in the evolution, not as great as LeBron, but to that level, like an 80% version of a prime LeBron or something like that. So it's like, we're not going to even get into comparisons and Magic or it is what it is, bro. Ant-Man, he admittedly said that he didn't watch that era. You know what I mean? He's just going off of what's been fed to him. You know what I mean? And if you guys want to be mad at anybody, don't be mad at Ant-Man. Be mad at these Jordan propaganda pushers who put down the 90s to prop up Michael Jordan and say he far exceeded everybody else and everybody else wasn't on his level. People gonna start looking at those other players from the 90s like, okay, they wasn't really that good then. You know, so if you guys gonna be mad at anybody, you know what I mean? Don't be mad at Ant-Man. You guys were just had the pom-poms out for Ant-Man. Y'all was just twerking for Ant-Man, photoshopping his face with Michael Jordan's face, saying
Come on, man.
Ant-Man is 88
Sonny
gold
boy,
and stuff like
trying to
that.
replace
Man,
Marcus with
I'm
his
not trying to
ass
hear
and
that,
shit.
man.
Come
It's
on, man.
y'all's fault. It ain't their fault.
Man. Oh man.
Yeah, it's about to get nasty, man.
Hey, but hey,
Come
listen,
on,
bro.
man. Now you want to throw him up for adoption, because he done found the truth out.
Oh man.
Yeah, since he spoke his
Boy,
truth, but he think it's
found out
true.
that he went to Moore and seen a DNA test. Man, said, "Oh hell, no indeed."
That's
For
crazy.
real. Y'all gonna be mad at anybody, be mad at yourselves. All these Jordan channels, all these Jordan, Stephen A. Smith, all these Jordan propaganda pushers. It's y'all's fault that Ant-Man is running around here saying that Jordan was the only one skilled.
That's a good point.
That's low-key the
man.
narrative y'all try to paint.
That's a good point. But you know what's crazy, man? It's crazy. Another legend said something. He had his thoughts about his comments. Another, not just a legend, a Timberwolves legend.
Are out, man.
Not just a legend, a Timberwolves legend. The greatest Timberwolves player of all time, Kevin Garnett. KG even says something. So let's get.
He had to protect this goat, man.
He said a lot too.
He said a lot. I ain't gonna play the whole thing. He definitely said a lot though. He definitely said a lot. You ain't lying right there. Boy.
Oh, you got the clip, True?
Yeah, I got the clip, man.
All right, let's get it.
I got the clip. I got the clip. Hold on. I got the clip. Y'all see it?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it.
If I'm being 100,
you ain't going back watching the games, Lord.
If I'm being honest, bro, I don't think anybody in this generation could have played like 20 years ago. If I'm being 100, this is the
Whoa.
Come on.
Yeah, we gotta stop it right there.
Whoa.
He's hot.
Nobody.
He coming in defending his goat.
Say it.
Nah,
he's capping on that, man.
This is not about Michael Jordan. You gotta understand this though. So crazy. He's from the 90s. He played.
For sure.
Yeah. So he feel offended.
Yeah, he does feel offended.
We all know how skilled KG is, but we ain't gonna act like that now. KG, you know what I mean? He played in different eras and things like that. So he
felt like it was a shot.
Yeah, but he mad. He upset though. Look at his face. He upset. He hot.
He mad as hell, nigga. I was in the 90s, boy.
So he feel so. This not. I mean, this really has really nothing to do with Jordan. This is off his own experiences of, you know what I mean, being in the league at that time. So, dang, he said that was big cap though, man. Let's keep on playing it, man.
Everybody in our league, Tatum. Oh, y'all, let me tell y'all something, bro.
Dang, he said, even Tatum.
Why he catches this?
Don't put on your
God damn.
That's crazy. Hold on, dog.
Why is Tatum catching the straight, man?
Lord, man, you supposed to be having the shield out for Tatum. Lord have mercy.
Hold on, let me play it. Yeah, let me play this back though, cause he hot though. He said to everybody though. Hold on, let me see.
Couldn't get to a triple step back. This is to everybody in our league, Tatum, all y'all. Let me tell y'all something, bro. 20 years ago, bro, you couldn't get to a triple step back.
No.
You hear what I'm saying to you? You couldn't get to a triple step back. And then if you shot that shit, it had to go in. You know why? Because we had efficiency back in the day, my dude, and it was so fucking hard. It was too physical. And guess what? The league had to come off of it for the flow of movement to be able to have scoring go up, which is why we like to sit here and watch kind of the rat race of the high-paced game, right? But, bro, let's not talk about the gamemanship, and let's not talk about the physicality of the game back then. Real shit, because I only think half these kids in the league could have been on an NBA team 20 years ago.
Straight up.
The locker room was too, it was too grown.
You know what I watched too? You know what I watched?
Grown. It was too.
Hold on. Now,
wow.
And let's step there. Hold on. Now, and I listen to this.
Man,
I
said a lot right there.
Half of look. This is the thing. Half of KG's era, they was calling him and everybody he was playing with Saul. Half of his career. That's what I'm saying. But now that since you one of the old heads, now you get to say, back in my day, we was tough, and so you didn't morph into one of these niggas. A couple years ago, you had the skinny jeans on and all of this acting young shit. Now you the old nigga.
Oh, Cook kill,
come on,
man. Cook kill, man.
But I'm gonna be devil's advocate. Because you notice he said let's not talk about the game of basketball per se, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said,
I wonder why.
No. But you had to listen what he said though. Like the key, like he said, y'all wouldn't even hang on in the culture of the locker room. That's a different, you know what I mean? He ain't talking about just a skill set, whatever. Yeah, people. He said y'all couldn't handle the environment.
But he talking about the skill set. He got to talk about other shit.
No, he talking about the locker room. Like they wouldn't even be in the locker room.
Yeah.
I know, which is cat.
So
he said they couldn't even be on a roster. Come on, let's
get
back in the video,
let's keep on playing. But let's keep on playing video.
It was two of them. It was too much of a fraternity 20 years ago.
Straight up.
The locker room was too. It was too grown.
You know what I watched too? You know what I watched?
Grown. It was two of them. It was too much of a fraternity. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man.
Just a handshake.
No, bro. It was a different vibration. David Stern did a great job of taking all of the physicality out of the game. You understand? Freedom of movement means freedom of movement. Man, back in the day when you had to get by Paul because Paul was squared up with you and ready to slide, and then he could body you, he could poke, he could use his hands, but I can use my hands.
I can fight through a screen,
bro. The shit that we saw in the Olympics was similar style play when the guard could ride you damn near over the pick.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to get out of that, and a nigga like Holiday, when he come out and he get over, he there. Right. So if you go to cross him, bro, you don't even. That's what I'm saying, bro. Man, the levels in which you had to be not only strong enough, but skilled enough to get by this nigga in front of you. You understand? And then, man, you never seen a 6'7" Rodman guard you? Bro,
This is insane.
I mean, what you feel about Renegade?
But shout out to Dennis Rodman. But I mean, bro, we got plenty 6'7", 6'6", big old defensive monsters guarding on the perimeter, let alone like when we're talking about down low, like we're not talking about anybody 6'7", nobody 6'7", all 7 footers if we're talking about down low. But when you're talking about Dennis Rodman, you're talking about guarding centers and shit. We're not talking about, when we talk about somebody guarding centers, the only 6'7" guy we talk about and can talk about is Draymond Green, and he's getting out there on the perimeter on the high level too. So it don't make no sense what he talking about, skill. And then he squeezed in the skill word in there after he tried to duck and dodge and get off of the court and talk about the locker room. Like, come on, man. None of these boys got real logic with what they talking about. That's why they get cooked and they don't want to get up and do none of this cooking. You feel me?
I'm gonna see if I can find more of that clip. We can keep on talking because, like, yeah, I mean,
I want to chime in for a second, right? And this is the exaggeration that I be talking about, right? Kevin Garnett, you saying Ant Edwards and Jason Tatum and this generation of superstars couldn't play back then. Kevin Garnett, when you got drafted, you was 18, 19 years old. You was 6'11", damn near 7 feet tall, and you was 180, 90 pounds, soaking wet. Pause, no diddy. These kids is not coming in like that. And mind you, one thing I can agree on with Kevin Garnett is, okay, David Stern and the rules and certain hand check-ins and this, and he talking about the freedom of movement. Okay, well, now you cannot grab me. You cannot hold me. You cannot tug on my jersey. Hands up, straight up, play defense. Play defense. Are you skilled enough to stop what I'll be able to do on the court? If you got to rely on grabbing a guy and pulling a guy's jersey and relying on a referee not to call a whistle, are you really playing defense? Or are you doing what Russell Westbrook said about Pat Bev, just out there running around roughing shit up? And that's what I mean, bro. We getting to a point where we're losing the plot on both spectrums. Guys is exaggerating it too much, man. Kevin Garnett, you know better. You know better. You came into a league out of high school and was able to produce while you were 6'11", damn near 7 feet tall and barely 200 pounds. So don't tell me
Come
that
on,
Ant
man.
Edwards wouldn't be successful back then. Don't tell me a Jason Tatum wouldn't be successful back then. And don't bring up physicality. You the wrong person to bring up physicality because you was barely 200 pounds, bro. Coming into the league
And
at
then
95, 96.
and then he say David Stern started the the less physicality in the league, and like he's acting like he didn't start that in 1991 when MJ came and complained about them the Pistons hitting them too hard with the flagrant foul. So that's before you even got in the league. So what are you really talking about, my nigga? Damn. And then he say, oh, you don't want to see Paul Pierce on the perimeter when he locked in. What? Shout out to Paul Pierce. He ain't no hoe on the defensive end, but boy, he is not. Ain't nobody scared of Paul Pierce on the damn perimeter. You feel me? Come on, man. God damn. He was
Crazy.
a capable. He was above average and things, but I'm saying like you acting like look at who he gonna be guarding game in and game out. Like you feel me? It's a whole nother level of players. Like it's crazy. After you
It
just
really
shitted
is,
on
and it's like
Tatum.
I like KG, bro. I like KG. KG's a great player, one of the greatest of all time at his position, bro. But I mean, let's be honest, bro. Let's be honest, bro. And like I said earlier, man, greatness could play in any era. So for you to say guys like Ant Edwards, okay, throw Ant Edwards in right now with his skill, his tenacity, his defense.
Right.
You think he wouldn't be able to handle the 90s?
His shooting ability on top of that. Like,
Come
come on,
on.
man.
Y'all was, like
Like
I said,
stop
y'all was
it.
just comparing this man to 88 Jordan in the playoffs.
That's what I'm
Just a
saying.
just a
The
couple
He
months
was
Glaze
ago.
y'all
train.
hero. Y'all had him on top of y'all shoulders.
Yeah,
Y'all
y'all
had
what?
the pom-poms out. Y'all was twerking for Ant Edwards.
If I'm
Now
not
he couldn't play in the
Come
mistaken,
on, man.
90s, and
It was
now
like,
he
see,
can't.
this is
Come
what.
on,
right,
man.
Don't tell me. They was like, don't tell me Jordan can't dominate after what we seen AE do. And all of this shit.
right. If I'm not mistaken, I think Kevin Garnett
Ah,
was one of the ones who started that rumor too.
Yeah.
He said it on his show with Paul Pierce, man. Talking about
that
he
shit.
reminded him of
Oh yeah,
80 something Jordan.
I got the whole video too. So
Yeah, let's go
we'll
ahead.
play the
Let's
whole
finish the
thing.
video, man.
Yeah. So let me see. I'm out. There we go. Yeah, 'cause that was very interesting, man. I mean, hey, y'all
I'm
see it?
glad you got that clip, True.
Because we the Kobe era. He talking about the 90s.
Yeah.
Because we the Kobe era.
He also prefaced by saying he didn't watch back then. He was 23 years old, so like we got to take that into account.
Man.
I mean, this is one of the most skilled players to ever play the game. I mean, I think that was directed more toward the Jordan era because when I hear that and I really start thinking about it, I'm like, nah, that's not true because you have multiple players who had hella skill. I'm talking about, come on now, that's pretty much doing the same things they's doing now. We had the guards who was going up doing this stuff, but we seen D Rose and Ja Morant doing. I mean, I seen Aaron Davis, Steve Francis, and Kevin Johnson doing all that type of stuff. I will say this: the skill level has gotten better with this generation, but I don't think overall it makes you better player. I think the imagination and the flair of the game is not the same. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't play as much basketball as we did. They work out individually. We played 5-on-5, and our creativity for the game was a lot better in our era. Because like, who's a showman? Who would you consider like a showman of today? Like Kyrie, maybe with the dribbles.
Yeah, and Ja.
High flying Ja.
I mean, when you say Kyrie, there was right.
I mean, Paul Pierce cooked a little bit.
He did, you know what I mean? And I kind of agree with what Paul Pierce said then. Like he said that the guys are more skilled today. I mean, that's something we know. Right. And like I said, for his era, what he said, his era, these guys were drafted in the 90s, late 90s. So they're not really part of that Jordan era. They like Paul Pierce said, he's part of that Kobe era.
Yeah, well, KG was in the mid, like KG got drafted with 95.
You got to think KG was what 18, 19 in 95.
Yeah, but he played a decent. He played 4 years in the 90s though. So I mean, I get that's why KG mad because like Paul only played like a couple years. Like Paul only got
1 year. I think he came 98,
99,
a year and a half.
Yeah, 99.
Like, I think he came in that lockout.
Yeah,
season.
he started off immediately. Listen, I ain't in what y'all talk. What you?
We in the Kobe era. We in the Kobe era. He's trying to get off of it.
Hey, Paul
Pierce, Ant might be referring to the generation before that. You know what I mean?
Paul Pierce is instigating too, though. You know, he said KG one more skilled guys. You know, he said he ain't talking my era.
Right. Come on, man.
Yo,
he trying to start stuff. Yeah.
Hey, low key. Hey, let's keep playing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, think about the creativity.
Seen Vince Carter.
Exactly, like Vince Carter. We never seen nothing like that. That was something different. I mean, Magic Johnson, White Chocolate. I mean, we don't see people pass the way J. Kidd did. Like it's like unreal. Like we don't see that type of creativity no more, you know.
So my question to you,
you right about that too.
Though, man, I didn't watch, so I don't. Is it important for youngsters?
Oh, it's gonna go back to what we got to go back to Ticket's famous saying to me. You ain't watching the games, Lord. You ain't watching the games, Lord.
You ain't watching the game, Lord.
You ain't going back watching the games, Lord.
If I'm being honest, bro, I don't think anybody in this generation could have played like 20 years ago. If I'm being 100.
We already said this part. Hold on, let me see.
It was too physical. And guess what? The league had to come off the high-paced game, right? Of the game back then. Real shit, because I only think half these kids in the league could have been on an NBA team 20 years ago.
Straight up.
The locker room was too grown.
You know what I watched too? You know what I watched?
Grown. It was two of them. It was too much of a fraternity. You understand? Like, yeah, man.
Just
like
a handshake.
No, bro. It was a different job of taking all of the physicality, because Paul was squared up with you, damn near over the pick.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to get out of it, had to be not only strong enough, but skilled enough to get by this thing in front of you. You understand? And then they finish right, but you go left and pull up. Bro, everybody knows.
Hold on.
They ain't never seen a 6'7" Rodman guard you. Bro, I see you. And you know, you're in the scout report. We know you go left. We know you can finish right, but you go left to pull up. Bro, everybody knows. Bro, niggas watching the games back then. Them Isaiah Thomases and the Dumars, man. Dumars shut Jordan down. Bro, they was coming to the lane, bro. You might get your nose broke trying to dunk. You understand? Dwayne Wade broke Cole's nose in the All-Star game. Man, bro, it's just different.
Man, how y'all feeling about that, man?
They called them all Saul. Everybody he talking about, he was calling them Saul. It don't matter what they did. The media was calling the whole era Saul. Half his whole career, KG, him, They were him included. They was calling his ass out compared to the goddamn 90s. This is what I'm saying. Like he did some Lil Yachty shit. You feel me? You heard about this Lil Yachty talking about these new rappers is they not the, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what in the hell is happening right now? Like, nigga, you feel me? Come on, man. Like this is what they doing. They were doing to Yo Duck ass. And Yo Duck ass
They did
turn
the
around and
same
do
thing
the
to
same damn
KG.
thing.
You think they
Yeah,
accepted KG when he
yeah,
first came?
but at the same time, hold up though. Like, but
He had to
we
earn
had
it.
but we had to really like, come on, y'all. Listen, to be fair though, like,
Bro, the
to
nigga
that
came
point,
in 10-6.
no, but y'all hold up, y'all ain't listening to what
But-
he said though about people studying the game and watching film and things of that nature. Which, let's be honest, we understand that the game is more skilled now, but we hear a
So
lot
you
of
saying they
things
don't?
about. I'm not saying
that's the thing,
I'm
though.
not saying
True, he
I'm
got
not saying
put on by the veterans, bro.
I'm not
You
saying
think-
I'm not saying everybody don't watch film nowadays though, but he is emphasizing that the
Not-
fact that you had that was no ifs and buts about it to do that, even to get on the court and play. He talking about the
But that's
nuances.
cap.
I mean,
yeah, but
I
the thing about him, he came out of high school. That's the only thing that he got on in his hands, because they weren't really trying to play high school players back then.
But no, but here's the thing
it's
though,
not
he was
even
a
that.
veteran
Go ahead,
himself,
bro.
though. But he was a veteran himself. He just did how the game. Listen, let's finish what he was saying. Let me to get the point.
It was very different back then, bro. Real shit. I'm talking about in the locker room. You can't be on your phone in the locker room. Can't, bro. 20 years ago, nah, nobody in this era could have played 25 years ago. We said that, and I'm talking about not just the play and all the skill that everybody got. Actually, was called bad shots and lack of efficiency. It was until they start fucking with all the data and saying take more threes than twos. Before then, we played ball, bro. We didn't give a fuck about all that other shit. And the GM couldn't come down and say, put into a game plan with a coach like Doc or D'Antoni talking about, we trying to get touches and touch the paint. Bro, I didn't see.
Yeah, it's hard to say more skill.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Nobody
bro.
in this era has a mid-range.
You couldn't get, nobody.
Nobody in this era has a post game.
Nah,
All right, we can stop it right there.
So
We can
so
stop
he
it right
said
there.
he said they didn't. He
DeMar
said they
DeRozan
did.
be one of the best
Yeah.
mid-range
Right. He
shooters.
and yeah,
See
that's all cap.
Carmelo
Who they
Anthony.
coming at
Then
is a mid-range shooter.
and
They
So
coming
and
at
then
like,
it's one of
Yeah.
the worst shots. It's one of the worst shots unless you could shoot about 60%. So it's not even the same type of shot as back then because of the skill level that there is right now from the 3-point line.
yeah.
So it don't even. And then he say what he said, man. Damn, I forgot about it because of that. Right quick,
KG had a mid range. What is KG talking about, man?
no, he's saying guys right now don't have no mid-range.
Yeah,
Nah,
like, and
that's
that's
crazy.
cap. The mid, they give you the mid range because it's the best shot for them to give you it, but not if you can shoot the mid range like DeMar and KD and Bookham and shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that they capped on that though. But
Come on, look at SGA.
Oh yeah,
SGA does a lot of
SGA.
his damage
SGA.
with
Yeah.
mid-range
right,
jumpers.
right,
yeah, but yeah.
right.
So like, he lost me
Jalen
with
Brunson.
that though. He lost me with that though. But like, now the data thing.
Kevin Durant. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, they
Come on,
lying.
man.
And they booked
they capped with
Tatum.
the mid range. Yeah, they capped
Come
with the
on, man.
mid range thing though. But like, when it comes to that, now that data thing, that is true though. Like, we can't like that whole
No,
data.
that's true.
That
That's what
is-
I'm saying.
What?
Like on both
Yeah.
sides, bro.
Okay, let's
on both
name
sides,
the
there's a lot
players
of
right now.
exaggeration
No,
going on.
nobody's
niggas
saying that
trying.
nobody no
Niggas-
mid range. No, that's not what I'm talking about. The mid range.
No,
They said other
no.
things besides mid range. He said the data.
I'm talking about Herm. He said we can't name 10 players.
But
that have
that's
Come on,
you know.
man.
we didn't even name Luca
the-
yet, man.
Come on.
Bradley
But
Beal got a mid
I want.
range.
Let's see what else they say. Let's see what else they
And
say.
the ones that do look amazing. Look at
Yeah.
Shea. Shea got a mid-range.
Oh, they
Yeah.
did. They
Yeah.
didn't
You know what I'm
mention.
saying?
Child,
Like,
It's only like a few of them got.
That's what I'm
like,
saying, bro. 2 dribble, pull up.
Yeah, they don't.
Try to do. Okay, young fella, if you hear me, and then y'all exhaust the ball. Y'all are dribbling the air out of the ball.
Right.
Y'all dribble the ball 100 times more than another nigga.
Right.
Catch it off the bounce. 1 dribble, 2 dribble, pull
Right.
up. Let me see you do that off the bounce.
Right.
Let me see your skill work off that. I ain't even known it like this, but you can't come from niggas and not expect a rebuttal on shit. Bro, real shit, it was totally different.
We can't. Hey, he ain't
we
lying.
Didn't even name Kawhi and PG yet.
Yeah, they can mid range, but like I ain't gonna that KG thing. You can't sit up here and come for people without response. That is true though. I can't.
I mean, not mad at the response. Niggas just gonna cook the response.
No, but here's
cap.
the thing. No, we can't now. The dribbling out the air of the ball. Let's be honest. That is true. That is true.
But what about when you in the slowest pace in NBA? One of the slowest paces in NBA history. What's happening to the ball? Like realistically, you think it was sweet? It wasn't like that. You got AI, you got Melo, Kobe, you got Gold James, you got all of you got BD, you got all of these big 1v1.
Yeah, but AI, that's a misconception with AI though. AI took a lot of shots though, but he didn't took long. When he had the ball in his hands, he ain't take that much time.
Okay,
like
he did his dribble. A lot of those guards from that era really didn't take a lot of time. If you really think about it, they was coming off of pin downs and stuff like that, shooting their mid range that way. You know what I mean? The same way Steph Curry shoots his threes coming off screens like a Rip Hamilton or like a Reggie Miller, like a Michael Jordan later on in his career. Those were a lot of mid range shots. But they wasn't like dribbling the air out the basketball and creating off
which
the
we do be seeing now.
That was the bigs. That was the bigs doing that. Like KG. Well, not like he didn't have it as much as other bigs, but
I think we know that
they got better ball handlers at the perimeter these days, and having the ball in the and just having the ball as a big these days is not even lucrative anymore because of the shooting acumen of everybody. So somebody's got to have the ball in their hands if you can't, because not everybody gonna have the chemistry to swing every game. You know what I'm saying? Except like it's these all-time great teams or whatever. But the thing is, the skill level allows these guys to have the ball in their hands at a higher level. And who is the ones that have the ball in their hands? These is big old playmakers. You know what I'm saying? This ain't people that don't know how to handle the rock and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
But I do got a question though for you though, Renegade. And I understand that, but at the same time, but regardless of what era or what skill set you have, though, I mean, swinging the ball when like not wasting any movements and swinging the ball is important though. I don't care what skill set you have. I feel you. But like I think that's what KG's talking about because,
but I'm saying like, but that's all. That's when you playing, like top of the line level basketball, and there's not many teams that's really gonna be doing that. That's he talking about. Well, when him and on his championship team was swinging the ball in the Celtics and Kobe, and when he playing championship level basketball, bruh. Not everybody's gonna be able to do that. You feel me? So you're gonna have people that's gonna have the ball in their hands. You know what I'm saying? Making the plays on their own because they not like that.
Yeah, but
you feel me?
Yeah, I feel on that. Let's see what's else.
You had to have that work, and you had to really work on your shit. And it wasn't you was out 2-3 games, man. Your teammates, hey bro, what you doing tonight? You going? Nah, I can't go, man. My toenail off, man. I can't. Nah, bro, you can't even come in here and lead no niggas like that.
Oh, that's cold.
You had to strap it up. And you had to get out here. You had to dive on the floor. You had to get in the rumble. Yeah,
right.
Real shit. It was men leading men.
Andre Drummond.
Yeah, ain't none of these niggas been in no lockout. And Anthony Edwards don't know what's going on with the league policy. Bro, you understand what I'm
talking about? What does that have to do with the game?
No,
he can't talk about it.
No, this is where. Nah, this is. I think let's not forget he is a Minnesota Timberwolves.
With the soft narrative.
Let's not forget he is a Minnesota Timberwolves. He may have some inside or information with. I ain't gonna lie to like me. Listen to his more that dribbling the ball, all that stuff. That he really talking about Anthony Edwards without saying his name, in my opinion. If you really think about it, because let's be honest,
the really, knock on Edwards is he over dribbles.
Yeah, he really. If you notice,
if you notice, he's low key talking about him,
He always trying
and
give it,
then
give it, give
now,
it here, give me the.
yeah,
You
right
feel me?
now,
And then
and you
everybody else
know,
want to give it to him.
y'all peeping. I thought I was the only one. Y'all peeping that, right? Like cause then
Yeah.
he's saying the policy, like, oh, he may know
Now
something.
that you said
Like
it,
now, because the reason why he's saying that because like he was just speaking to ignorance. Reason why he's bringing the policy is like, bro, you speaking to ignorance right now. You better do your research about the game, because mind you, Edwards is supposed to be the future of the game, and you speaking with a lot of regardless, he's speaking with a lot of ignorance right now. That's how I'm
He
looking at it.
is, and that's why I said, right?
yeah,
And that's why I said earlier when we was watching that Magic Johnson clip, right? That's why I said I would have loved to see Magic Johnson take that opportunity to educate Ant Edwards instead of flexing rings on him. You know what I mean? Just to
Right.
come out and just like to dismiss it and just be like, oh, well, I ain't talking to nobody that ain't got no rings. Nah, you Magic Johnson, you're one of the greatest players of this game. You know what I mean? One of the greatest period of this game. You know what I mean?
right.
And you've
Facts.
crossed over to different heights. Magic Johnson, I would have loved to seen him take the opportunity to step back and not get into flexing rings or not be triggered or not be angered by those comments. Because if you want to be real about Ant Edwards' comments, they was ignorant comments. You know what
Yeah,
I
they
mean? They
were.
was ignorant comments.
But this is,
If you're
and
looking at the factuality of what Ant Edwards said, they were some ignorant comments. So Magic
right.
Johnson, being the elder statesman that he is, I would have loved to see Magic Johnson educate him there. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? The
yeah,
same way KG is now getting into doing, but at the same time, I would have liked to be like for him to be like,
yeah,
"Yo, youngin,
'cause-
dig this, man. It was hellified players back then. Guys were
yeah,
skilled. The game was different. The game allowed this and allowed this. So you had to move a certain way. You had to play a certain way. Coaches were a certain way. The shots you guys are taking now, the coaches back then would have had you parked on the bench for taking those shots. So you wouldn't be able to see how great you are. We would only see how great you are in practice or something like that. But when it came to a game in the 90s, when you had to play like this and coaches' philosophies were like this and the NBA rules were like this, that's why the game was how it was. You know what I mean?
hey,
I
you
would have
feel me
loved to
right?
see
Right.
more of that compared
Yeah,
as opposed to like, oh, like you couldn't last in my era or you don't have no rings or you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
because what he said was closer to the truth than a lie, and he felt, and that's why they feel played. You feel me?
I mean,
Yeah,
they
what
feel
he said was
triggered. You
The
know what I
only
mean?
look,
thing
Because
he
look,
like I
lied
said,
about
look,
bro,
is
like
saying
look,
that
look. What he said
if
was
it's making you
ignorant.
feel
Look,
triggered,
look.
then
yeah.
Wait, look.
if it's
He
making
said
you
was
feel
ignorant.
triggered, your issue isn't with Ant
Listen,
Edwards, bro. Your issue is
look. What
with
he
the
said
with
was
the with the
ignorant, but
Michael
I'm
Jordan
saying,
propaganda machine, bro. Because
yeah,
the
look,
right.
Michael
look.
Michael
I'm
Jordan
saying.
propaganda machine
What he
is the
said
one
was
that's
ignorant,
pushing
but
all of
if
this.
you got knowledge of what you actually talking about, you can side. You'll be able to side more with AE as far as the
I don't
actuality of the situation. If he said, in comparison to this, what we got now,
We're more
it'll be
skilled.
very limited.
Yeah, no,
You know
like,
what
but
I'm
He
that,
saying?
should
yeah,
have
You have
but
just
your,
he should have
you
just
have
no,
a
left
but
it
couple
like
I
good
that.
think,
players
We're
out
more
there.
yeah,
skilled
but
in that
nobody,
era.
yeah, but no, I don't think nobody had a problem if he
You
would
know
have
what I'm
said
saying?
that.
You're
But
not at a
saying
400, but that's about
no,
it.
But yeah, but the problem
yeah,
was he said Jordan was the
nobody.
only one.
Yeah, he said nobody though.
That's where, we steer away
So,
from
Yeah,
what he
you can't
said.
say
Because he
so
said
nobody. You
none
can't say
you can't
nobody, and it was, and I can name you hella skilled players from the '90s.
Right.
It's just that
right.
that might have been the only one that stood out on that squad. You know what I
Right.
mean? The rest of the guys might be a guy like a David Bowie or a guy like a Hersey Hawkins or a guy like a, you know what I mean? Old dude
Right.
who I posted who was starting for the Philadelphia 76ers and didn't play
and wouldn't you
basketball for
call that
5 years.
nobody if you got one out of if you got two or three out of 12? Wouldn't you say you're just rounding about hit that as a nobody, as a blanket statement? You know what I'm saying? Even as
Hmm.
ignorant as it is, because you'd be like, man, this we ain't got nobody but this and this. You feel me? I mean, yes,
Yeah.
okay, we got this and this, but we ain't got nobody. That's what they do with MJ teams in the '80s. That's what they excuses they make up. He ain't have nobody and all of this shit.
Exactly.
You know
So
what I'm
when you
saying?
push that MJ propaganda, oh, he ain't had nobody, or he was so much better than everybody, and this and this and that, and you don't highlight those stories of those guys back in the 90s who were skilled, when you don't highlight their stories, when you suppress their stories, when you don't tell their stories, and all you tell about the 90s is Michael Jordan, all you speak about of that era is Michael. Of course, a kid like Ant Edwards is going to look
That
at
is
it
true.
and be like, damn, well, that era was trash. Michael Jordan was the only guy. You know what I mean? That's why when Kobe came in the league, everybody was looking at Kobe and all. And Ant Edwards is looking at it from the standpoint that every night he goes on the court, he sees a Kevin Durant. He sees a LeBron James. He sees a Nikola Jokic. He sees a Steph Curry. So he's like saying, damn, there's 4 or 5 MJ or Kobe's when I play in the league right now. So you know what I mean? I see where he's coming from.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, that's a good point. Let's keep playing this video. That's definitely an excellent point. I can't care.
I'm out the leader, bro. Man, I can't even have
you
this
can't
conversation.
say this. You can't even say it if you ain't watched.
It ain't the same. It's been in no lockout. And Anthony Edwards don't know what's going on with the league policy. This, bro, you understand what I'm talking about? The leader, bro. Yeah, I can't even have this conversation.
You can't even say it if you ain't watched.
It ain't the same. It ain't.
Yeah, that's low key. Listen, you notice he said too. You not being a leader, so he know. Hey, he trying to. I mean, he teaching and taking shots at the same time. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like,
then
don't
you
say
say I didn't
that,
watch,
and don't say you didn't watch.
Man, Jordan, the only one has skill. Yeah, I know you didn't watch the game.
I know you
for
didn't
him saying
watch.
that.
Yeah,
So
you can't say
you
that.
know what?
And then
Respect
say
to
you
the
don't
young
watch.
fella, man. I don't get on
Did
here.
it?
I don't use this platform to douse anything, but I'm not gonna start the
you
cooning. I'm here to elevate the game. I'm here to help the young players elevate themselves. But it's
you gotta
always
say.
different eras. And when you hear Michael Jordan and some of the greats talk about the different eras of play, the 80s were different from the 70s, the 70s was different from the 60s, the 60s was different from the 50s. But in all of it, it had gamemanship, it had aggressiveness, and it had stuff that came with it that you didn't really hear about that you hear now. Man, shit.
Yeah.
Half these motherfuckers can't even be in the locker room. Half these niggas coming from no parents and one mom and all. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these niggas got their mom and dad, and a lot of these niggas ain't even outside, my nigga. I'm really from the park, man. I'm
Oh man, he go.
Man,
Hey,
he going deep with it now,
he
man.
going deep with it now, though.
Dragging it, dragging it,
I
dragging
want.
it,
he
I
dragging
want
dragging
to
it.
see
What
what.
about the
Yeah,
game?
that's
But
rooting
that's the
for
thing.
I think he talking about the mentality though. I
He's
want to see
saying
him finish.
he basically saying this generation has a softer mentality from that era. He's saying these guys don't come from the park. These guys don't come from playing 5-on-5 in a dangerous neighborhood outside in the park. These guys don't come from being outside at the park and playing grown men when you 13, 14 just so you can get better. That's what he's alluding to.
Yeah.
And when he
And
brings
it's,
up the locker room and being in that locker room, that's what he's alluding to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's alluding to guys, grown men, guys that were into different stuff, guys that demanded more out of you, guys that was no nonsense guys, teams that had enforcers and stuff like that. That's what he's alluding to.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's a different time, it's a different game with different rules.
Absolutely.
You don't want these players knocking you for the era that you played in. Don't knock the era that they're playing in, because just like KG said, the 50s weren't like the 60s, the 60s weren't like the 70s, and so on and so on and so on.
All right, that's
that's the same thing that they were saying. That's the same thing Wilt said about
Exactly,
the
Renegade.
90s. Like what?
Exactly.
Like it's
About the 90s.
these dudes really is really very funny. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And
It's
that's
like the
why I said,
psychosis
right? And
of
that's why I
this
said,
old
right?
nigga syndrome. Like,
These dudes, they
how
only
do
believe in
how do you
evolution.
overcome that shit? Is it like just something in you after a
yeah, and
certain
that's why
time
I
when
said,
you
man.
become a certain age or something? I
Yeah,
don't know, man.
Yeah, that's how it
and
is. And like I'm
yeah,
saying, like 10 years from now, you're going to have guys like Bron and KD and Steph saying the same thing. You're going to have them saying like, oh, in our generation, you know what I mean? These guys we're not going to be able to do blah, 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 or these guys wouldn't be able to do this and this and that. It's always going to be like that because that's the evolution of basketball. So with these guys from the 90s, they accept the game change from the 50s to 60s. These guys from the 90s, they accept the game changed from the 60s to the 70s and the 70s to the 80s and the 80s to the 90s. But then now, after their era was done, they just feel like the game just completely fell off and is trash. And now you sounding like the old man screaming at the clouds that you used to say about a guy like Wilt, like Renegade brought up. So that's a good point.
Yeah, like, and also too, like, now I always say this too. Like, I think Renegade definitely knows my stance on this about the errors and things of that nature. Like, that's why I like the basketball. I think it's whack when it comes to the basketball community. It's like the only like sports community that does this in the basketball space where like we downplay each other's errors, and it's like it's corny. Like, we understand, like, it's like, because it's not progressive, and it ain't gonna change anything because it's gonna keep on going and going and going. Like, I mean, listen, truth be told, they're gonna say the 2000s and 2010s are gonna be trash in years to come. It's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have thought?
The game's gonna keep evolving.
Nobody said the 90s was trash
it
10
just
years
is
ago.
what
Nobody said the 90s was trash. Not even, listen, I've been on YouTube for like, I'm really trying to think about it, like, for real.
They just started
Like,
saying that.
Renegade knows this. Like, nobody really was calling the 90s trash like 5 years ago.
I
right.
know.
Nobody
And
believes.
here's the kicker, right? Here's why
Funny,
nobody was calling the 90s trash, right? Here's why nobody
I
was calling the
can
90s
tell them.
trash.
Hey, that's
Like
real
Paul
talk.
Pierce said, they wasn't watching the games, Lord. So now when you're poking at people from this generation, right? When you're poking at every regular season game, when you're poking at every quarter of every game, when you're poking at every possession of the game, in this era, especially the old guys that be yelling to the clouds, the kids of this generation or the basketball fans of this generation are going to see, let's go back and watch the games from the 90s and let's see if these guys were living actually what they talking. And now these guys have gone back and watched these games and are going through it with a fine-tooth comb, and they realize, like, hold up, these guys, you guys hype these guys up to be some sort of monsters, and we watching the game, and these guys really ain't that better than this generation. That's where the whole starting to trash the 90s came from, was people picking at the superstars and the legends of this generation.
Yeah, that's true. It's like it's gonna be a never-ending cycle.
Doing all of that
Unfortunately,
damn
it's
lying
gonna
and
be. But
shit,
here's the
man.
thing, though: it's gonna be a never-ending cycle because two wrongs don't make a right. So when you do that, the younger people doing that now, guess what the newer generation going to do? They're going to do the same exact thing. It's a never-ending cycle,
and that's
where,
why, and that goes back to my point of blaming the Jordan propaganda machine. Because if you guys wasn't poking at everybody, if you guys wasn't poking at a LeBron James resume, if you guys wasn't poking at a Kevin Durant resume, if you guys weren't poking at a Steph Curry resume, none of the people of this generation with the technology that we have today would go back in time and watch every game meticulously and pick apart that generation.
And here's the thing too, like shout out, All Gravy said FWF made hella streams saying 90s was trash, whatever.
That
But
just started though.
But yeah, that just really started though. And like, mind you, we're talking about even when Lamont
2
started,
years, bro.
even before. Listen, like I've been doing like nobody really wasn't even saying that per se. Like maybe you got Renegade, shout out to Renegade, been doing Renegade since 2020. But like besides, like that wasn't a trend. Like, but even like 10 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. The point is though, that's a time go by fast. And the fact that like that is a thing now, that the 90s was trash. Who would have thought, like us growing up watching basketball, that we would say the 90s was trash? Like, or not even think, but like,
watch,
but not even think, because I don't really think like I have critiques of the 90s for sure. I have critiques, but I don't think no era is trash. I think other eras are better, but like we got to be careful with that, because like I said before, this time go by. Like, who would have thought, like, even like I barely watched the 90s. I'm 20. I'm 28 years old. So I really don't barely remember the 90s like that. I'm vivid of the 2000s, but like the fact that you grow up, even going back and even look at some of the stuff in the 90s. But now all of a sudden it's a trending topic of the 90s was trash. Who would have thought that? So
They
we have
one
to
of the
be
weakest
careful.
eras, though.
Yeah, but like I said, but that being said, though, they said, listen, we gotta be careful because, like I said before, though, so crazy. They're gonna say the same thing about the 2010s and the 20 like unfortunately it's under the cycle.
It depends on the discourse, right? Because,
but that's
like I said, the discourse that led to this was not only the media but players of other of that generation poking and downplaying this generation. That's where this all came from.
Yeah, you absolutely correct, but you
came from.
Right,
You know what I mean?
you absolutely correct.
So if the people from the 90s want to boo-hoo and cry about this generation disrespecting the 90s, they don't got nobody to blame but themselves. You got the Skip Baylesses, the Stephen A. Smiths, and then the players. So once you got the media and other players saying it, and this is why I keep going back to that point. Now that we got the technology, now that we could go out and seek these games, these people from this generation who didn't watch the 90s can go back, because in the 90s there wasn't no negative news coverage when it came to sports.
Yeah.
If you didn't watch if the game wasn't a national TV game, you watching the highlights. If you lucky enough to be up that late at night or in the morning before school.
Right. And but here's the thing about that: it really don't matter who really starts it or not. I will understand who started whatever, but here's the thing: if you ain't going to end, but here's the thing though: when you have the people who are not trying to end it, because like I said before, it's not progressive at the end of the day. Because let's be real, these LeBron James fans and things of that nature. I'm talking about all, and I'm not saying all Jordan fans like this either. There's some Jordan fans that's realistic or whatever, and whatever, but. These LeBron, if you see we see it now that like they're continuous on that toxic trait of just downplaying different errors, and like you can critique. There's nothing wrong with critiquing, and nothing comparing per se, and like I don't think nothing wrong with that. But when you sit there and downplay like there was nothing, then you open up a door for in the future where somebody that's 5 years old right now, and they gonna look at the 2020s and 2030s, they era, they be like, what the 2010s. 2010 was trash. Like, listen, it's coming. It's coming, bro.
It's coming,
like,
because that's what basketball discourse has became. Like,
it's sad.
Has become, yeah.
I mean,
that's what they do. Downplay the other era.
Darren, if you don't know what I'm saying, then like I don't know what you. I mean, basically, if we're saying the discourse is saying the 90s is trash, other past era is trash, it's going to be continue on in the future. It's obvious.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen. Two wrongs don't make a right? But can one wrong be righter than another wrong? I mean, listen, man.
But here's the thing, though.
Bust you over the head. Yeah, that's wrong. But if you hit him back, yeah, that's wrong too. But is it more wrong than the wrong that's been committed to your ass first?
But Renegade, but would you be surprised if somebody start downplaying like LeBron James era in the future, or have the same?
Of course
like,
not, man.
It's gonna be a
doing it right now in the present.
Right, they've been doing it the whole time. You got people growing up thinking that the narratives is true. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying. No, I'm not even necessarily talking about that. I'm talking about like you're gonna have a player. They're gonna understand LeBron James' greatness per se, of course, but like a Victor Wembanyama, the potential GOAT, whatever. They're gonna do the same. I mean, you get what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah, of course. It's that's just the way it is, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is when it comes to these conversations and discourse, whatever, it's like when it comes
people
to
say the chef better.
I mean, hey, man, listen. So I don't know, man.
Now, I mean, let me ask you guys this, right? Where do you see it going from here? Do you see this discourse, these talking points continuing? Where do you guys feel like it stops?
I mean, hopefully we
stop when the money stop.
I mean,
I don't feel like it stops.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But that being said, too, hopefully content creators like us can help you change that. You know what I mean? I'm that because, like I said, I'm not with all that trash and just errors just to trash them. You know what I mean? Downplay and saying like I'm not, like I said. That's why I've like Ed was just totally wrong with his comments though, because like because like I said, don't 30 years from now somebody gonna say the same thing about you in your era. You know what I mean? It's not progressive. It's not healthy. And it's like, why do we see this only in the basketball community? You don't see this in no other community in sports. You don't.
Because
them elder
like I
statesmen
said,
so disrespectful, man.
because
So you ain't got no choice but
you
to
don't have players
disrespect
from
back.
those games
Ain't
tearing
just show
people
no
down.
respect to that, man. That's crazy.
When would y'all say it started though?
You know
The
when it started,
disrespect.
bro.
Inside the NBA, man. What's his name? What's his name? What's his name with the bald head? Van Gundy brother, Stan Van
Stan Van
Gundy
Gundy.
and them. You
Nah, I
feel
think
me?
Skip
Come
Bayless.
on, man.
I think Skip and them.
Of
I mean,
course,
he
Skip
probably.
Bayless.
Jim's
He
the
a big
media
old
boy.
add on.
When it
You know what
became
I'm saying? But I'm talking
profitable,
about
right?
legit.
When
I'm
it,
talking about the people that's supposed to be legit.
But
Like,
no,
you know what I'm
though.
saying?
Nah, but technically go before that though, because you technically always hear this stuff. Like even like you go into barbershops, whatever. Like people will be lying. Like when they talking about like the older
Right.
era and stuff like that. Like they were legit lying about like players from back then
Right.
because they didn't watch the same. Like the comments they would say, like they were legit. Like truth be told, there's a lot of people that talk like Anthony Edwards. Like let's be honest. Like they
Right.
was legit speak on something and they didn't even watch it. That's a lot of things.
Oh, you remember
Truth
when
be
Mott
told,
did that interview with that former Chicago Bull, and
yeah,
every single person that we brought up in the 90s, he was trashing them, acting like they wasn't shit. No respect.
right,
Zero respect about anybody brought up, man. Zero.
right.
Like, man, they couldn't be us,
But
man.
you get what I'm
They
saying
wasn't
though.
nothing compared to us.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. Like you got like when we go to barber, like a lot of people talk like Anthony Edwards, they will legit say these type of statements and like a lot. Unfortunately, when it comes to the basketball community, it's a bunch of people like this, bro. I'm sorry. Like I mean, it is what it is. So. I don't know, man. But with the video almost done though, let's see what else they gotta say because like KG, Paul Pierce, see if they give some wisdom, more wisdom or whatever.
But he did play at
From the
Springfield Park.
park,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Cleveland Park, all the parks. I
Right.
really was at our game and one mom and all, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these niggas got their mom and dad and a lot of these niggas ain't even outside, my nigga. I'm really from the park, man. I'm really from Basswood. I really did play at Springfield Park. You know what I'm saying? Cleveland Park, all the parks. I really was at Argyle. I really was on 16th. I really was hanging out on Ridgeway. Like I'm saying that to say that, yeah. Like, man, it was different times. So when I hear these things, they don't add up because it was a different time of how you played, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then there was a lot of two-way players back then that was real niggas. I'm talking about stars. I'm talking about Gary Payton, the Jason Kidds, the Michael Jordans, the Grant Hills, the McGrady's and the Cobes, you know what I'm saying? The TDs, the C Webbs, the Rasheeds,
He must have been talking about the 60s.
Nah, man, he feeling himself. And I like
He out of pocket. See,
he
that's
sound like he
Yo,
want to
this is
fight,
crazy.
man.
Yo,
That's
but
what
This
he's
is
Paul Pierce out
sounding
of
crazy.
like.
pocket.
He talking
You
about
bringing
a
up
whole
parents, you bringing up real niggas. You sounding like you want to fight him. Like you basically saying ain't tough. Like
Right,
if he was
basically.
around in the 90s, like y'all would have been chumping him out. And like this is what I'm
Oh,
talking
hey
about, bro.
man.
Is we talking about mentality? Is we talking about hoop? Is we talking about being from the hood? What is we talking
Are we
about?
Yeah, I
talking
don't
about
know.
more skills? What we
Like what are
talking
we
He
about?
talking
just
about?
want to
Bro, that was
The man
he ain't
brought up
talking because we
skills.
sure ain't talking about real basketball this way.
Like
Nah,
the
he,
man
I
brought
mean,
up
Talking about
skills. So
that.
like
yeah,
at this point, what's we talking about? Is you
yeah.
jealous because somebody might have a 2-parent household? Like where is this conversation
But here's
going,
the thing.
KG?
But hold on. Side note, we just got to be mentioned though. Every Edwards didn't come. He didn't have two parents. I think his
Yeah,
mom died.
he ain't have his mama, he
His
ain't have
mom,
his granny. Like, come
yeah.
Right.
on. He ain't have his
So
daddy. So
And
what like so
he
where
still
are we
figured
going
it
with this
out.
conversation?
yeah. So like I don't. I mean. So yeah. So to put that out there. Let's see
And
what else
plus
he
the
said.
people that he named excelled in the 2000s, bro.
Yeah. So let
That's
me.
that's what I wanted to say too.
Yeah, KG.
Come
Yeah,
on, man.
KG.
This ain't even nobody that he talked. He even was mentioning and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of people we didn't mention. Like, yeah, that's a fact.
like that. I like that he feels good. But when you're a savant and you're talking to the league and you spitting Jordans, the Grant Hills, the McGrady's and the Cobes, you know what I'm saying? The TDs, the C Webbs, the Rasheeds,
He must have been talking about like the 60s.
Nah, Lord, he's feeling
Come
himself.
on.
I like that. He feels good. But when you're a savant and you're talking to the league and you spitting different shit, nah, you gotta know what you're talking about. Right. To be in the argument or to be in the discussion of what we're talking about. Right. To say that they're most skilled, shit. 20 years, you couldn't get to a triple step back. All that shit, James Harden and all that shit. And then too, if you was dribbling the air of the ball, bro, nigga told you straight up, hey man,
come on, man.
Swing it, man. What you doing? What you doing? 5 more dribbles, you out here? Hold on, I got it. Back it up. What?
Y'all ass would have definitely said
You had to remember, and if you can't remember the plays, you couldn't be out here. It wasn't all this switching shit. You had actually strategy to where the strategy had to go to 2, 5, 2 and 4, y'all 3 and 4, y'all doing this. You had a list of shit that you had to be responsible for.
Sure that.
Not some, I didn't forget. And you know what? Fuck it, just throw him out there because he's good. Nah, bro, it's a whole nother level of shit. So, know what you're speaking about. But yeah, I'll root for you, young fella. Just know what you're talking about, young fella. That you said don't make no sense.
KG, you heated, man.
KG heated. He
bad.
He
went into a whole different topic. You talking about people having
you know he rock with Ant too. He probably rock with Ant too though. That's why it's like he probably rock with Ant and it's like, bro, like you bitch me like now can you talk to me? Like I don't got no skill. What you talking about me? I'm a Hall of Famer. I got drafted. I'm a high school player that had to, you know what I mean? And you trying like he felt
ain't make no bones in the 90s.
I give it to KG though, man.
He from South Carolina. He left home young. He went to Chicago. You know what I mean? He didn't really have his family out there. He went to Chicago, got drafted. He had to grow up quick. So I understand where KG's coming from. And what
KG was an all-star in the 90s too. KG was an all-star in the 90s. We can't forget that. He was an all-star.
Yeah, he was. Two times. KG was the big ticket, bro. We're not gonna take nothing away from KG.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take anything away.
We're not gonna act like KG was a plumber. No, KG is one of the greatest at his position all time in the NBA.
Man.
You know what I
He
mean?
did his thing.
I'm a big Kevin Garnett fan. But I said about Magic, if you want to educate Ant Edwards, educate Ant Edwards. But bringing up, I like the fact that he brought up the rules of the game, how they played, and the coaching style and the coaching philosophy.
Yeah, I like KG. KG.
I like that he brought that up. Yeah. But I kind of feel like he went left field. You bringing up moms at the game. Guys got 2-parent households.
He went too deep on that
park and stuff like bro, come on, man.
Yeah, but and besides that stuff, like that could have been left out. All that stuff could have been left out. But I mean, the fact that it was a progressive conversation. It definitely was better than like Magic Johnson. Oh, you ain't win no championship.
Yeah, I give you that.
So I gotta give KG that because he didn't have to. He could have legit just ished on him like, bro, you would never listen. That's my.
He did put some salt in there though.
No, he
did put a lot of salt in there.
No, he put a lot of salt. Point that I want to bring up, right? Here's another point that I want to bring up, bro. A lot of these different eras, there used to be people that bridge the gap between the eras. You know what I mean?
A big old bet.
Mm-hmm. Nowadays, you don't have that because of the NBA phasing out veterans and teams getting younger. So now there's nobody on these rosters. Udonis Haslem was the last one of a kind of a guy that bridges the gap between eras for younger guys. That's showing them the ropes, showing them how to be professional, growing up fast in the NBA. They have phased that out. So a lot of that is on the NBA too. You know what I mean? But still, a lot of these OGs of the game, I wish they would put their arm around these younger players and bridge that gap, whether you on a roster, whether you retired, whether you on a podcast and stuff like that, instead of it becoming a battle between the eras, bridge the gap, bro. And that'll change a lot of the discourse.
They should put like that as like a position.
Yeah, but to be fair though, it is some people out there just don't get they don't get credit for it. I mean, you have Brian, you know how
D Rose.
You want to say him? Got Kyle Lowry, got the Al Horfords. You got some guys out here that that played in Yeah, because now,
Larry
because
still think he could ball though.
we started watching in 2000, so we used to those guys. Udonis has them, but like now it's different.
No, I'm talking about even like before then, like even in like in the era, like before Udonis has
But
them.
you still
Udonis has
right
them when
though.
he was a
Yeah,
rookie.
still
When he
right.
was a rookie, and D
There's a
Wade
bunch of them.
and D Wade was a rookie. They had vets. They had real
That was
vets,
damn
bro. The
near
NBA.
a
The problem with
designated
a lot of this
position.
stuff is the NBA going real young, bro. You don't have a lot
Yeah.
of veterans on these rosters. You don't have OGs on these rosters that can put their arm around these young niggas and teach them. Like a lot of this whole conversation, this whole discourse, it could be a teaching moment for Ant Edwards. And I feel like guys like Magic Johnson, Kevin Garnett, he did a way better job, but like, put your arm around these youngins. Paul Pierce, guys like that, David West, those type of guys. Put your arm around these youngins. Teach them. Like, okay, let me tell you why you feel like the 90s was a weak era. You feel like the 90s was a weak era because we had to play a game a certain way. The rules were this.
Right.
We couldn't do this. We couldn't do it like that. You know what I mean? And if y'all did, and then I put more of this on the NBA, if the NBA didn't phase out the vets, you wouldn't have guys like Ant Edwards saying nobody in the 90s had skills. You know what I mean?
That's an absolute fact. Like you cooking right there. Like the vet to that point. I did mention. I'm gonna take a little bit what I said back. They are vets though, but a lot of the vets now. If you ain't able to play, you get phased
Right.
out. Let's say that if you're not able to play a certain level, then you get phased out. So it's not really
especially shooting. If you can't shoot, you getting phased.
No, it's not even necessarily even that. It's not even necessarily that. Like if you ain't like that, Don has some type of role like that. Like even back in the day, speaking of Michael Jordan, remember Robert Parrish? Robert Parrish was on the Bulls. On them, I think he was on the night. He wanted the 3-piece, one of the 3-piece team. I forgot top of my head. He was of that veteran. You know what I mean? You don't have that like that no more. It's to that point. So, like I said, the league is getting younger per se. So I mean, and granted, like you said, we gotta give KG. I mean, I don't think that was I think he could have done better explaining it, but I think he still.
But I understand where he's coming from. You know.
Yeah, I do, but he still gave up some game and Paul Pierce. But like I said, those guys. They do give back to the younger players. I see they always around them and they always get, so I give them no credit. But like I said, to your point though, Moose, listen, the quote unquote that Udonis has some type of role. That role, you right, that's role.
I'm gonna give you an example, like to that point. I'm gonna give you an example, right? Chauncey Billups came out, I think a week ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, right? And he's the coach of the Trailblazers, a young team, rebuilding team. That team doesn't have vets. That team doesn't have vets. Chauncey Billups told a story about them getting their asses blown out in New Orleans or something, down by 18, down by 20, and one of his players during halftime went and posted a highlight of him with a highlight reel dunk during the first half. And at halftime, he's posting it to his socials.
That's hilarious. I wonder who that was.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I already know who it was.
Who was it? Shady Sharp.
I don't think it was Shady Sharp. I'm not sure who it was, but like, I'm trying to, like, the point I'm trying to make is when the NBA phases out veterans, right? And they phases out the guys who put these guys through rookie hazing, and not rookie hazing in a bad way, but you know what I mean? Taking them under their wing, showing them the ropes, showing them what they've been through, showing them how it goes, showing them how to be a professional. You don't have issues like this. You don't have Chauncey Billups, the head coach, having to be the one to find out about this and go in on the player. You know what I mean? These kids, if I can put a knock on this generation, is there's not that much of a care factor when it comes to hoops. You know what I mean? LeBron James, he got a saying of keeping the main thing the main thing. A lot of this new generation, they don't keep the main thing the main thing. That's why a guy like Zion, with all the hype, with all the talent, with the jumping ability, he's not where he should be at this stage in his career. He getting fat. He's slewing out porn stars. He doing all type of crazy stuff. And now we waiting on every year. We're like, is this the year Zion gets it together? So things like that is a trickle down effect of NBA phasing out vets. You know what I mean? And when you have that issue, you're gonna have young guys entitled. You're gonna have young guys who are ignorant to the history of the game. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Shout out to y'all. Oh, my fault, y'all too. Okay, my fault. We kind of late on this. We got super chats too. Shout out to y'all super chats. Christopher D with their super chat and all that. On Moose Talk Sports. I think that's y'all on you. And shout out to NT on Boiler Room, man. I appreciate you with the super chat, $10, man. I appreciate that, man. It's not the skill that level that changed. It's the spacing and rules change, like defensive 3 seconds and shot. 14-second shot clock on offensive rebounds. It speeds the game up, more possessions, more scoring. Yeah, you're right about that. And Christopher D on Moose Talk. Zeke and K. No, not my fault. That's so crazy. Zeke said KD will end his career a top 10 player all time when his career is finished. And I agree because KD's already top 12 on my list. I mean, hey, man. That's dope. Shout out to y'all from
shout out to y'all, man.
Salute, bro.
Shout out y'all from donating, man. I appreciate
man. Y'all get them likes up, man. Smash that like button and share the video. We still rocking right here on In the Zone podcast, right here on FYF Sports Debate. Man, we talking about it, man. Ant Edwards, this thing has went viral all over the internet. NBA legends chiming in. You guys heard from Magic Johnson. You guys heard from Kevin Garnett. Isaiah Thomas had an interesting comment as well. Isaiah Thomas, when Ant Edwards came out and spoke on this, he said, propaganda works. So be careful what you choose to believe. And I believe that's Isaiah Thomas kind of alluding to what I was talking about with the discourse in the media being what it was, the propaganda that's being thrown around,
why he said that.
causing Ant Edwards to be ignorant to the fact that there was actually skilled players in the 90s.
Right. Come on,
How do y'all feel about that, man?
It's facts. I mean, why you don't promote somebody else? You feel me? Why you don't promote somebody cooking besides Zeke?
He ain't lying, but he got some extra motivation of saying those comments, though, man. I'll say that. You know what I mean?
I believe it.
But what's the extra motivation?
Come on, man. I gotta know too. I mean, listen, whatever motivates you to get to the truth for me, get there.
That man don't, dog. Y'all saw that.
Speaking of Isaiah Thomas, right? Like, you know what I mean? He had some other interesting comments as well, man. Like Isaiah Thomas brought up the fact that he said potentially the Chicago Bulls could have won a ring without Michael Jordan.
He
said
you did a video.
He said they definitely wouldn't have won 6, but Isaiah Thomas said they maybe could have won 1 with Pippen and Kukoc.
He a hater, bro. I mean, listen, bro. Like we get we get it. And Renegade, I'm gonna say that when I say this, I really want to hear what Renegade has to say and see if he's gonna keep it real. Cause listen, dog.
Listen, like I said, I already said, I don't think as currently constructed, but if you put a high level scorer on there with Dennis Rodman, I don't think so. Okay, but listen, okay, that's what I said. I don't agree with that. That's what I said in the beginning when I started off. I said no. Not as currently constructed. That's what I said. But if you add a high level scorer on there, you know what I'm saying? And Dennis Rodman, yeah, of course they'll win the chip. You feel me? But they had a ref step out of their business and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Had the media get up out of their BS when they have BS going on, you feel me, and drop a wedge in between the team and things, you feel me, and anything could happen, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, they did have the best coach, they did have the best GM.
Man, they were winning nothing. Let's stop. Listen,
what you mean?
Bro, like, okay, to that point, if they would have added a person, I'm not even going to argue that. I don't think nobody's going to deny that. If they added the scoring element apart, just basically replace Jordan with another scorer. Not necessarily have to be the same, but you know what I mean? But with that being said, he said, but that's not what Isaiah Thomas said. He said flat out, like, you add those players without Jordan, they win it. He's a hater, bro. Like, I'm gonna be real. I ain't think we're gonna do Goofy Take of the Week on a Tuesday, bro.
Don't do that to Zeke.
I ain't, because this is an unofficial Goofy. That was an unofficial Goofy. That's Goofy. I ain't gonna lie. That's the goofiest thing all year, bro. I ain't gonna lie. He's a hater, bro. Like, I get it, bro. I understand there's a relationship, but you know about like the Jordan and Isaiah Thomas rivalry. You're not gonna get that apology, Isaiah Thomas. You're not gonna get it. So I mean, I don't know
he
why.
really wants that apology.
Keep cooking, man. Keep cooking them. Keep cooking them. I'm saying the Bulls was favored to make the finals that season when he quit on them, man. The Bulls was favored to make the finals when MJ quit on them, man. Come on, man.
You're right. I mean, I get that. You're right, but they got put out in the second round.
So I mean, they put. I know, but that's Hugh Holland stepped in the building. But look, they added Dennis Rodman, man. They lost with MJ, added Dennis Rodman, and then took off. You feel me?
This is why he a liar. But this is why he a liar, though. This is why he a liar. This man been around for I don't know how long, bro. This is the first time him saying it. He's a liar. He don't believe this, bro. He don't even believe this.
Okay. I mean, of course. He's
doing this to get at Jordan, bro, as much as he can. Let's just keep it honest, bro. Like, listen, I don't care how you feel about it. It's just like it's not true. This man said he could win without Michael Jordan. It's insane, bro. Like, that's insane.
Why not?
Like,
I mean,
put some stipulations on it, and they could have did it.
Forget any additions they add, right? Look at the roster. Scottie Pippen at that time was probably the best perimeter player on both sides of the basketball.
Come on, man. All them damn 21 teams or less than 21 teams in the 90s, man.
Come on, Scottie Pippen.
I'm with True on this. I don't think they win without Jordan.
Hold on, Scottie Pippen was all NBA and all NBA defense. First team on both of those. First team on both of those. They get a phantom foul that goes against them when they played the Knicks in the Eastern Conference semifinals, right?
I got a smooth rebuttal off it. Isaiah Thomas.
I don't think they win, bro.
Let's not forget, this man said that Scottie Pippen was even the best small forward in the 90s.
He was.
Okay.
Let's not forget. No, Isaiah Thomas said that. So he doubled.
But that's cap.
But the reality says he was. The reality says he was.
The point is but this
could have changed his mind, man.
I don't want to hear it. Stop it, bro. He ished. We play. Come on, bro. He ished on Scottie Pippen. We remember. We remembered on open court. He ished on Scottie Pippen. He said Grant Hill. He did. He said a Grant Hill that only played 5 years in the 90s. That was better than Scottie Pippen.
Offensively, yeah, Grant Hill.
He said better. Period. We understand. Better offensively.
But
he said better overall.
Reality, hold on. If you want to look at the reality, right? Scottie Pippen from like 94 to like 98, 94 to 97 for sure.
He was the best small forward tonight. No, listen, I'm not. I don't agree with that. Let me make this clear. I'm just telling you the hypocrisy
pointing out right.
And the chatting Isaiah Thomas been doing, bro. You're not gonna sit there and issue on Scottie Pippen and downplay his game. Now all of a sudden you take away Michael Jordan, they can win 3. They can win a championship.
He came out with the last dance, but that was before the last dance was out, and people wasn't blatantly disrespecting in the public, man. Now it's on, man. What you mean? And it ain't cutting, and it ain't getting off, man. What you mean?
Hey, and shout out to Fontaine.
I don't believe. Yeah,
shout out Fontaine for the what's good, Philip. Shout out to Fontaine with the
shout out to Fontaine 5.
Fontaine, salute, bro. Appreciate you tuning in.
Hey, but to get back on track, man, I don't believe they beat the Rockets, bro, without Jordan. I'm gonna keep it a buck, man.
Okay,
so they ain't beat him with Jordan.
So
they ain't beat him with him.
You don't believe they beat
the
Rockets?
You gotta remember this though, Moose. With Jordan, the Houston Rockets had a 50% win percentage against the Bulls.
Okay, but you're talking about a team that plays what 2 games against each other in the regular season.
So hold on.
They got smoked, bro. The Rockets beat them.
Yeah, but hold up though. First, what year? Because here's the thing though, right? What team?
You're gonna need Dennis Rodman.
No. I'm going based off of Moose's video. He did a video yesterday. He said 96, right? He said 96.
And here's the thing, right? Here's where I'm making my point at, right? Between 94 and let's say, what was the end of the Bulls dynasty? 98? That's the last ring they won, right?
Yeah, 98.
So from 94 to 98, right? Say Michael Jordan never comes back to the Bulls. With the coach they had, with the GM they had, with Scottie Pippen playing the way he was, all NBA first team, all NBA defense first team, third in MVP voting in 94, all-star MVP, Tony Kukoc just coming in, 94 was his rookie year. You end up getting Rodman the same way in 96. From at least, if you want to say the Rockets still win in 94, I'm cool with that. If you say the Rockets still win in 95,
they lost to the Knicks in 94. But they lost to the Knicks in 94.
They lost to the Knicks in 94, but if you remember, Game 5 of that series, that went 7. Game 5 in that series, that Game 5 was stolen from the Bulls on the road over a phantom foul that was called on Scottie Pippen, to where Hubert Davis, who was shooting that shot that the foul was called on, admittedly said that shouldn't have been a foul. Well, if the Bulls win that game, they go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay,
they never did no shit like that to the OMG.
Okay, let's say they go to the final. They lose. They're not beating the Rockets, bro, Jordan.
It's gonna
why
be
they got to come back with Dennis Rodman.
Rockets.
They got to come back with Dennis Rodman.
Out of it if you want.
Hold on, but you
give
can't.
94 to the Rockets. Give 95 to the Rockets. Between 96 and 98, I'm saying based on who the Bulls had outside of Jordan, I'm basing it on the fact that they had the best GM of the 90s in Jerry Krause. I'm basing it on the fact that they had the best coach of the 90s with Phil Jackson. They could have had a team that won a championship in that run.
But Scott, first of all, Scott Pippen would have been traded in that scenario.
They would have had T-Mac.
Man, man, we can't do that.
All jokes aside. Like,
you gotta add that. That really happened.
So crazy. How?
It was gonna happen.
How?
Time out. The reason why
you don't
saying
trade,
you don't
trade a Scottie Pippen for T-Mac when you don't have a Jordan, bro. You don't trade Scottie Pippen, who's all NBA, for a rookie coming out of high school.
Hold up.
I know that, but that was gonna happen if Jordan wasn't there, though. That's not a lie.
Now it wouldn't be T-Mac per se, but the point is though, if he
then they're definitely not.
Jerry Krause wanted T-Mac.
I'm basing it on the fact. I'm basing it on the fact of what Isaiah Thomas said. He said with Scottie Pippen and Tony Kukoc leading that team.
But here's the thing, though. They're not beating the Sonics or Utah.
I don't think they beating Hakeem, man.
No, hold on. We off that, though, so crazy. We just talking about 96 and 98. They're not beating. First of all, because here's the thing. Scottie Pippen.
Are they beating Utah?
Let's not forget Scottie Pippen. Let's not forget Scottie Pippen got hurt in 98. He only played. That was not a prime Scottie Pippen. For one, he was hurt in 98. And then here's the thing too, though. You're asking an older Scottie Pippen to be your number one, be your number one scorer, and also play great defense. Where he wasn't. That wasn't peak Scottie Pippen.
Could have been the number one scorer.
All right, bro.
What you mean? All right.
Man, they could have brought in a big old time scorer, man. That's all they had to do.
Crazy. Renegade.
They already brought in.
Renegade.
You got to supplement something.
No, Renegade. That's not the point. Because nobody's gonna argue that point. I'm going with Isaiah. You trying to save Isaiah Thomas, bro? I'm going with what he said. I'm
not saving Isaiah.
He clearly said without no assistance, no Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Tony Kukoc could have won a championship. He didn't say if you put Reggie Miller. He didn't say he put a Mitch Richmond on the team.
Right.
He didn't say all that.
He said without Jordan.
Say all that. Let's not do that, man. He's a hater, bro.
Yeah.
10 years,
Hey,
all
right, look at this. Look at this, y'all.
Yeah,
Look at this, y'all. Let's say they go to the championship, right? 96, right? Are they beating? Are they beating the
No.
They beating the Sonics?
Hell no.
They beating the Supersonics?
Why
Okay,
not?
let's go 90. Let's go 97.
Why not? Hold on.
Let's
Why
go
not?
97.
You gotta tell me why not.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Why would the
90.
Sonics win? Tell me why would the Sonics win?
You got Dennis Rodman. You got a chance.
Hold up. I'm gonna tell you
I'm
why.
just asking a question.
Hold on. Rodman did ball out in that finals.
Come on.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Because he was kissing on players, man. Getting in people's head, man.
No, forget all that. No, he was
grabbing nuts and shit, man. Come on, man.
No. His rebound was phenomenal in the finals. Like he was phenomenal.
He put fear in them centers, man.
But the reason why, go back in that finals, right? Jordan, that was Jordan's least efficient finals in his career. So you trying to tell me where Gary Payton was giving him problems? The defense, he put Gary Payton on Scottie Pippen with less offensive bag than a Jordan, or give you that same level of production. Come on, bro. You're not
because since we want to bring up injuries and you want to bring up Scottie's injury, let's bring up Gary Payton's injury in the finals. Okay, well, we bringing up Gary Payton's injury in 96.
They still gonna lose.
I don't see it, bro. I don't see it.
What do y'all gotta stop, bro? Like, first of all,
this shit out to them damn shooters, even more, man.
Even before we get to that point, though, they're not better than Orlando. They were not better than say and lie about that, because let's not.
Jack left in 96, though.
Hold up. No, hold up. No,
he left after that 96 season. So I'm saying
adding Dennis Rodman was a whole nother ball game. Added a whole nother ball game to the Bulls, man.
But here's the thing, though. They lost in 95. Listen, all I'm saying is this: they didn't listen. They beat a Jordan Bulls team the year prior. Let's not forget that. That Orlando team was one of the only teams in
Rodman.
Hold up.
Okay.
Hold up. You absolutely correct. Horace Grant I think Horace Grant got hurt, but that's neither here nor there, though. The point is, though, let's not downplay how good or great Orlando Magic was. They were the only teams in that era to beat that. On matter of fact, they're the only team in the 90s that beat the Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan in the playoffs. They're the only team. So we can't downplay that. And so you trying listen, bro. Listen.
But they added one big old guy, man, and it's sweet money. That's what I'm saying, man.
Now, if you know, so Scottie Pippen,
Renegade, what you thinking about him kissing on niggas and grabbing nuts?
Penny was cooking.
I'm just saying, it was effective. I'm not saying that I agree with it. I'm just saying it got
it's a
people.
Possibility.
You feel me?
Because Isaiah Thomas used the word could. They could. And if you
don't believe that. He don't believe that.
How you gonna tell me what I believe?
He don't believe that, because he's the same person that said Scottie Pippen was the second best small forward in the 90s. He already pitched on Scottie Pippen game prior. You on tape. You on tape saying this. I don't. So listen. I don't care. That's
he
why
probably
don't make any sense. I don't want to hear that, Renegade.
Okay. He probably grew to appreciate this man game after he seen him and Scottie get dumped on in the Last Dance.
Hey, base cast. How I'm not making any sense? So him being a hater and downplaying Scottie Pippen. Now you want to uplift Scottie Pippen to hate on Michael Jordan. So how that don't make any sense?
It happens, man. Sometimes it takes alternative things to bring people to the.
Okay,
so what we doing? So what we doing with Isaiah Thomas? For the fact that y'all believe he's a Jordan hater, we just forever gonna dismiss Isaiah Thomas.
No, I'm not dismissing anything. No, I'm not dismissing. Listen, he was right about. I had no problem before. True on Super Cap today, man. Lamont. Listen, Lamont. I don't care what you talking about, dog. The point of the matter is this, though. Right? When we talk about Isaiah Thomas initially, right? We talk about the Anthony Edwards comments, right? I had no problem with what he said. Correct? Yes or no? About the propaganda. I didn't
yeah,
dismiss
you had no
everything he
problems with
said.
it. I'll give you that.
I'm not dismissing anything he said. I know when I know a dude chatting though. I know that. I know a dude just I know a dude just chatting, and that was like you're not going. I remember I was in high school. You're not going to sit for an ish on Scottie Pippen because he didn't want you on a dream team, and of course they had beef, whatever, Chicago Bulls Pistons. You said that Grant Hill had only played 5 years in '90. Said he was the best small forward, and you ished on Scottie Pippen game, downplayed his game. I wish I had to downplay his game. Now all of a sudden, Scottie. First of all, so we all believe Tony Kukoc was a number 2 on a championship.
Hell yeah, hell yeah,
y'all
yeah, bro.
Y'all
He averaged, bro.
Y'all
He averaged. Hold on. He averaged 16. Hold on. He averaged damn near 17 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists in his second year coming from Europe. Right? Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. Right? He averaged damn near 17 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, something like that in his second year, bro. Going into his third year, he had to go back to the bench because of them acquiring Rodman. If Jordan's not there, you don't send Tony Kukoc to the bench.
Who's the starting lineup?
You could have Ron Harper, you could have a Scottie Pippen, you could have a Tony Kukoc, you could have a Dennis Rodman, and you could have a Luke Longley.
They won 72 games that year, man. They could shave a couple.
This team, say that. Let's look at
They
the
added
94 Bulls. The 94 Bulls with Jordan in the previous year in 93, Jordan averaging 36 damn near points and 30 over 30 points, over 6 rebounds. They were just 2 games better than the 94 Bulls without Jordan. So you telling me the Bulls lost all that production and a Finals MVP?
Listen, they had a great system. They had a great team.
Not even that. So take that into the equation. You got Phil Jackson, the greatest coach, and you got Jerry Krause, arguably one of the best GMs. He was the best GM of that era. Without Jordan, bro, and that team, if you fill out the roster with role players, they got a chance to at least win 1 ring in that era without Michael Jordan, bro.
All right. Let me ask you. Let me ask you this,
but
bro.
Could they have won? Absolutely, they could have won.
Do they win 72-10? Do they do that without
No,
MJ?
of course not. But
of course they don't.
But they went from 55 to 57 to 55 without.
Bro, they went 55 and 27 in 94 without Jordan's production, bro. If you have a Jerry Krause, if you have a Phil Jackson,
do they?
Bro, you got a chance to win.
Do they beat Utah?
No, they don't beat Utah. They don't.
Okay,
they almost
stop, man.
Exactly. Like they almost lost.
Man, they added a whole Dennis Rodman.
Come on,
y'all
bro.
forgetting that, man. That's
here's the thing.
That's what took them over the top for that 3P run, man.
You absolutely correct.
But Renegade, they had MJ.
Okay,
bro,
but I'm saying they got
that.
smacked.
Bro, you guys are not taking into the account that they got the best GM and the best coach. Without Jordan, they would have filled out that roster around the Tony Kukoc.
Bro.
Look at the money. Look at the money.
We can't say that because we going based off of what Isaiah Thomas said, man.
Of that time,
you going based off of what he said.
And you have literally
take Jordan out.
What do you do? Hold on, time out. Let me ask you this: what did he do?
Jordan out.
Hold on. He was a great. Listen, and I'm not saying he wasn't great at his time. What he did, what he do when all that stuff left. He ain't do nothing. He ain't do nothing in all that stuff left. So all this.
He didn't do nothing to try to keep it, man. He the one that wanted to.
Forget all that.
Get everybody out.
After they reached the end of the road.
Hold on, so crazy. Forget all that he ended, whatever case may be. Forget all that because that's whatever. But why he couldn't do it again? Why he couldn't do it again? Why he couldn't?
What's the number 1 draft pick?
All right, man.
What is number 1 draft pick at? Or number 2
draft picks? Let's not do that. They had a lot of draft picks.
They had some draft picks, bro.
I'm saying
who's they draft pick?
In between 94 and 97 or 98, bro. Within those years, they could have.
I don't believe they do, man.
Keyword Isaiah Thomas used. They could have won
Okay,
at
but moves,
least
but
one.
let's do this.
Come
But
on, man.
let's talk the facts though. First of all, 94, 90. That's we gonna eliminate those years because it wasn't.
Yeah, the
We're gonna
Rockets won
eliminate.
those years.
We're gonna eliminate those years, right? They gave Dennis Rodman in '96, right? Okay, cool. And here's the thing too.
Now we talking.
We also forgetting the dynamics of why Scottie Pippen was so. He's the greatest number. He's regarded as the best number 2 of all time. Not slight. He's one of the best all players of all time. Top 50 and all that. Top 10 small forward and all whatever case may be.
And what did he do as the number 1?
No, he was phenomenal.
Come on.
Yes, he was
He
phenomenal.
did. He did his thing, bro. I'm not taking nothing away from him.
But here's the thing, though. They were still missing a piece to get to that step to be a championship team. It is what it is.
Dennis Rodman.
No, nobody denying that. But nobody denying that.
But you trying to overlook this man.
The reason why I'm saying that because in Utah they legit almost lost to Utah, but the only reason why they won, Listen, and this is facts. Go back and look at it. They said, listen, if they would have lost that game in Utah, they would have lost Game 7. Go back in '98. They said they had to win because the ball was wore down. Going to 3 straight finals, and you know what I mean. It wear and tear on your body. That takes a toll. That's why it's hard to win back to back and 3-peat and all that stuff. You know what I mean? That Game 6 they had to win. And who was the person that sealed the deal in Game 6? Was it Scottie Pippen? Was it Tony Kukoc? Or was it Rodman? Last time I checked, it was Michael Jordan.
Yeah, you're basing that on the fact that Jordan
that's stealing that last shot.
You're basing it on the fact that Jordan was there. But I want to get something clear from your guys' point of view. So you're telling me absolutely no way with Scottie Pippen being the All-NBA first team, All-NBA defense first team guy, with Tony Kukoc's ascension, with Phil Jackson being the greatest coach, with Jerry Krause being the greatest GM of that time. You telling me in between 94 and 98, the Bulls have absolutely no shot to win a title? Is that your argument?
No, they don't have a shot. They don't have a shot. No, hold up. They don't have a shot. And listen,
y'all being too literal.
I'm not saying they don't have a shot to get there, but I don't believe they win, bro.
Yeah, listen. Here's the thing. They're going to be contending and all that. But I'm going off exactly what Zed Thomas said. If you're saying if you're saying that he can bring somebody in to help that team win, nobody's going to argue that. Well, like bringing to your point where they made earlier, bring another supplement score to help Scottie Pippen, whatever.
It doesn't have to be a supplement score.
No, but regardless of whatever the case is,
and bring in role players like Luke Longley and Steve Kerr, and get somebody a rookie, bring over a rookie like Tony Kukoc, in which they did.
No, the point is though, like if they got more help. Okay, to your point, you keep bringing Jerry Krause, a great GM, and he would have brought somebody more help in to supplement not having Jordan there. Nobody going to argue that. I don't think SoKrazy already conceded that. Nobody arguing that. But I'm going over exactly what Zed Thomas said. We're not going to skip the question.
The question was
he legit said they would have won with no other changes if you just take Michael Jordan off.
He said they could have.
Man, it's a lie. If you said that's just a lie, it's like listen, Greg. He said
they did make changes. They made changes with Michael Jordan.
So you're telling me the Bulls would have never been a championship contender without Michael Jordan?
We're not arguing that, but the question was, would they win a championship? And I say no.
The question, the statement was, they could have won at least one ring.
He don't believe that, man. That's my point. My statement, my thing is he don't believe that,
bro. I don't believe they. I don't believe they win, bro.
He don't, bro. People got to start calling that out. But like, I'm not even mad. Listen, here's the thing. And listen, who knows, right? I mean, listen, I'm not even necessarily mad at that per se, but I'm more adamant on the fact that he don't even believe that. That's the fact. He don't even believe the fact that
I believe it.
So you feel like his
not verbatim, but
Jordan is driving him to say this,
bro? Yes, I'm 100%. I'm 1,000% sure that that's the reason why. I don't have no problem him saying this, but listen, let's not forget. Boy, I wish I had that video, bro. Boy, I had to drop that, because y'all wilding, man. Listen, all
Lamont
I'm
said,
saying is
"Drop the
this.
link."
All I'm saying is this, though, man.
Yeah, drop the link for Lamont, because I know somebody got to feel me, man.
No,
Somebody got to feel me,
but
man.
he's a Scott. He gonna glaze Scottie Pippen. You know, he gonna glaze Scottie Pippen. You know what I mean? Like even like I
Man,
don't get.
you
Just don't
hating.
believe.
Bro, we
I
looking
don't
at the
believe
facts,
You
that.
bro.
just
We
Do
don't.
looking
You
at
it.
the
just don't
facts, man.
believe. You just don't believe that they could do something without MJ or weak ass man. Listen, man. Shout out to MJ. Listen, if they brung in
Herm cooking.
Scotty, I mean, your
Herm
boy, what's his
cooking.
name? Dennis Rodman.
Herm
Hmm?
Herm
Herm
Herm,
cooking y'all right now.
Herm cooking.
Man,
Y'all wrong with very things he
Herm
said,
don't
but
like
no other
anything I
legends.
say. I'm not surprised. He
Oh
don't agree with
snap!
anything I say. I can
Hey,
say
hold
the
up.
sky's blue. Herm
Now
gonna disagree with me.
now we doing one. Hold up. Now that being said, I'm gonna let Herm out here now. Let Herm say his piece. Renegade. Let Herm say his piece, man. Please let him say his piece.
Yeah. Renegade. Let him talk,
Let him
man.
say his piece. What up, Herm, man?
Man, salute True, man.
Salute, man.
True actually been holding y'all together, man, because what y'all been doing is ridiculous, man. I'm disappointed, man.
No, I'm standing with True, man.
Yeah, so
Hey,
crazy
Fighting
on my
with
side.
True,
yeah, so
man.
crazy you have to,
Trying.
brother. Yes, but I think in the salute to everybody. First of all, man, y'all doing a great job, man. Y'all hit that like button, y'all subscribe, man. Y'all hit that cash out for In the Zone podcast. You know what I'm saying? Y'all show love to these brothers. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication, man. So salute to them. Lamont, what your capping ass doing, man? Nah, but nah,
Got
nah, nah,
Scottie
nah,
Pippen jersey on, man. Got the
nah, the
I get
Bulls.
it. Portland. The
I'm
Portland.
I'm
See,
I'm ultimate
Portland
Bulls
ties.
fan. I think we could have made some conference finals for us winning the title though. I don't think we would have won a title with that, Mike. I think Houston just would have had our number, and then you gotta remember that Orlando Magic team was up and coming too. So I think the young Shaq and Penny aspect of it, we would not have got over that hump. But for us making the conference finals, I think that would have been the ceiling. Before us competing for a title, no, we just didn't wasn't going to have enough, and plus, with the front office with Horace Grant making this move because he banked on himself so he could get paid more money. I think we still would have lost Horace Grant in the midst of it if Jordan didn't come back in 95, 96. So I mean, end of the day, the ceiling just would have been the conference finals. We wasn't gonna win the title without Michael Jordan. That's just how I feel about that. Before is what y'all been talking about today. Um, end of the day, Ant Man, just a young naive guy, low IQ type of guy, man. Future is he a future great player? He need to worry about what Minnesota gonna do next year because the Western Conference is deep, about 10 deep. Hell, they may not even be a top seed next year. Right, talking this stuff, but hey, but we can't have a one way. We listen to other legends with to fulfill our wants and fulfill our narratives. We will roll with certain legends, but when it comes to other legends, we ignore what they say. End of the day, those guys got more knowledge of anything that's going on behind the scenes in the NBA than we do. So we do got to take their criticism seriously or whatever feelings they have seriously because they've been there. They've been there, done that, and they know a lot of different things. So we can't pick and choose what we believe are legends because at the end of the day, it's creators now. When it comes to Zeke, I think I think eventually, man, this what I hope happens one day. Zeke and Michael Jordan, man, y'all two niggas need to come together and squash that long 30-year beef, man. Get that shit out the way, cause god
That
damn.
shit longer than 30 years, man. That shit longer.
Man, it's been about 30 years, man. It's been about 30.
Now I'm about to be 30. That's longer than 30 years, dog.
Man,
Right.
but they,
So,
they need they need to leave it alone because Zeke, I want Zeke to realize this. You getting dissed by these younger guys that you capping for right now. They dissing you. They saying you don't have any skills, man. They're saying that you wouldn't be able to do anything in this era. Zeke, you need to get back right because you was one of the guys that had the better ball handling, that was very skilled and very talented as a small guard and really truly outside of Stephen Curry, the small guard that led his team to a championship. So Zeke, man, you got to bring light to certain conversation because these younger guys are very disrespectful and they just running their mouth. So Zeke, you need to get out of that. You hating Mike and Mike hating you. Y'all get out of that shit and talk ball. Because right now, what we're hearing with Ant-Mans, and it's going to be more younger guys saying worse than that. It's getting crazy out here. It's going to be beef between the older generation. I just put it like this. The 90s and the 2000s are going to be going against the 2010s and above. That's what's going to be going on. And it's going to get
90s
crazy
and
out
the
here.
2000s. Look at what you did. Look what you
Nah, but
did. You
2000.
trying
Nah,
to
but
drag the
first of all, Renegade, the 2000s, I always say it's the best era. From 2000 to
okay.
2010 is the best era of basketball, in my opinion.
Ain't
So,
nobody talking about the
but they get it.
2000. You
Nah,
know
but
what we talking about. You know what
they get
AE was talking
disrespected
about,
too.
man.
Hey,
Who
Ant-Man
who
don't know
who
nothing about basketball, man.
who
He don't know
disrespected
this.
2K?
He don't know nothing about basketball, man. I
Okay,
don't
who
take Ant-Man
disrespected who
serious, man.
disrespect
He
2K?
Everybody do that shit. 2K just a video
Everybody.
game. Who
See
cares?
you
Who cares
cap,
about 2K?
man.
Who cares about
I'm
2K?
saying I'm
2K
saying
ain't
the
nothing, man.
2K era I'm talking about.
He said 2K area.
The
The
2K era.
2000s.
I mean, hey, they disrespect themselves by running their mouths. People probably wouldn't
Man,
give
look
harsh
at you, man. You
criticism. They
be
shut the hell
capping,
up.
man. Stop it. You don't
Hey,
see
I
nobody
don't
out
know
here
how to cap.
disrespect.
I don't know how to cap.
That's
I
nah.
don't
That
know
you
how to
know that's
cap.
cap.
Hey, see, the thing is,
Captain,
Let him
hey,
finish his
captain.
point, Renegade. Let him finish his point.
but Moose, you gotta stop this, bro. You showing too much bias towards your personal feelings. Take your feelings out of it. Just talk
I
the
mean, what I say,
game.
bro? Go ahead, elaborate on what I said, bro.
I think y'all talk with y'all feelings instead of talking the game. Stop hating on these areas and just talk the game. Cause
What are you
neither one of
referring to?
I'm
What are
Come
gonna
you
on,
say
man.
this
referring
because
to?
neither
Let
one
me
of
get
y'all
to it.
Uh-huh.
Let everybody
Cause
get to it.
Yeah,
neither one of
yeah.
y'all niggas, neither one of y'all niggas could beat anybody from the 80s, the 90s, the
Look,
70s.
look,
Neither
look.
one of y'all niggas could beat them niggas. So shut the hell up and just talk the game, man, the right
What are
way,
you
man.
referring to? You can't just
So
make a blanket.
who?
What did I say? What are you referring to? What did I say?
I mean everything you basically say.
No,
I
no.
don't say
Okay, pick
Come
out
everything.
on,
one
man.
thing.
I don't
Pick
say
out one
It's what
thing.
I'm
everything,
talking
Pick
man.
out
about.
one
It's what
thing.
I'm talking
I don't
about,
say
Pick
man.
out one
everything,
It's what
thing.
I'm
man.
talking
I
about.
don't say
He
everything.
proving
He
my
can't.
point.
He
He
can't.
proving
He
my
can't.
point.
You,
Pick out one thing.
That's crazy, though. You just said everything is wild, bro.
He can't tell you one thing. On my mama, he can't tell you one thing. Go ahead, Brody.
I can if I want to, but I don't feel like I'm talking too
For
long
sure,
as is
for
because I
sure.
got
yeah.
my
I mean, that's what you up
moderation.
here for, right?
Right. Come on, man. No, he up here to cap like he
You
always
can't say
do.
you can't attack my take and you don't even know what my
Now
That's
take
I
was.
actually
funny,
can
bro.
if I
Come
want
on,
to.
man.
I just don't
Okay, I
feel
mean,
like
you
Hey,
it.
up here, you
well,
got
why
the
don't
floor,
you
Brody.
want to? You don't want to?
It's easy. I don't want to embarrass y'all on
You
It's
here.
say
easy.
you say
What,
you done
what you
you
mean?
done.
You need to
Hold
get
up.
some kind of win, don't you?
Oh, that's crazy. Well,
I
you
always win, Renegade.
What?
I
You
but
think
always
so?
win.
I don't
but you
know,
said,
man.
hey,
Like
Moose,
I
Get
like I
another one.
said, bro, I can say the sky blue. Herm just gonna disagree just to
that's
Come
disagree.
on,
funny.
man.
That's funny. Man. Hey, Lamont, though, man,
That's crazy.
how you feel about was the topic today, man? Like, what up with you, man?
No, I just talking about the Bulls topic. You, well, I don't understand. Like you keep wavering to try to make your point. This is what I mean. So this is what you're doing. You're trying to lock in Isaiah Thomas's
Right.
statement, basically trying to. You're basically trying to play with his statement to say that Isaiah Thomas' statement meant that for an entire 10-year period, the Bulls roster would simply be completely locked, and Pippen would have to take whoever and go win a championship with those guys. So I want to ask you, throughout the entire 90s, what roster are you locking around Pippen? Since you want to lock a roster, are you
No,
just choosing
I
the
didn't.
94 team?
I didn't lock a roster for
Okay,
one.
so what team? Because
I
because if you're not locking a roster, then you have to go with Moose's presumption that they have the best GM in basketball that's going to build around
no,
Pippen, and
no,
they're
I
going to
didn't deny
replace
that.
Jordan's production and go and they're because Jordan don't win a championship without that
Yeah,
GM in Phil Jackson. Jordan don't win unless he got the best GM in the game. They went and got Pippen. They went and got Grant. They went and got good role
yeah.
players. They went
Hey,
and got
Lamont.
those guys.
Hey, Lamont. You already heard me talk about how
And for the
Okay,
record,
no, hold on. Let me get to my
for
point
the
though.
record, Herb,
Let me
that
get
was
to my
Bulls
point
giving
because
love to the 90s.
my point is this. I don't know when you say that Isaiah Thomas is saying that without any changes. What roster are we not making any changes to? Who are you talking about? What roster are you referring to?
The reason why I'm saying that because
No. True. What roster are you referring to when you say that Isaiah Thomas said that the Bulls without Jordan can win the championship? What team? The 91 team, the 92 team, 93 team, 94 team, 95, 96? What team are you talking about?
He said Scott Pippen and Tony Kukoc. So 96 to 98. That's the last three-peat.
Hold on. So you saying so now we can't use none of the so now we just locked in on whatever the roster was in what year?
Yeah, because this is what I'm going over.
How do you know he was just talking about 96 to 98?
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay,
because you just making stuff up now.
No, I'm not making it. Hold on. Let's
94 Kukoc came in
let's break this down. They lost. Okay, they lost in 94, correct? 95. Let's say Jordan doesn't never.
No, hold on. Let's just start with 94 before you run off. 94. You're talking about literally the first year that this team was forced to play without Michael Jordan, and they didn't bring in a lick of help to replace Michael Jordan's production. And without because normally when you lose a player, you do something to replace their production. The Bulls did absolutely zero to replace Jordan's production, other than Jed Bushler and Randy Brown and Pete Myers, and they still was a 55-win team. Pippen was the second best player in the NBA behind Hakeem Olajuwon, right? They was a formidable force. It took an all-out effort from the Knicks and some favoritism from the refs just to get the Bulls put out. And you telling me that team, if allowed to gel, and the Bulls front office was able to build around that core, couldn't have made that 55 team win better. And you're talking about Orlando Magic team that fell apart after Shaq left in 96. You're talking about Houston Rocket team that after they won their second title, they proceeded to turn into complete garbage juice. So you act like the Rockets was just this stellar team. They was getting their ass beat all through the 90s until 94 to 95.
I didn't mention anything about Rockets past 95.
Okay, so what I'm saying is let's not confine it to just acting like the window of opportunity for them to win was just the 2 years when the Rockets was good. The Rockets was good for that 2-year window. That second year, they were beatable that second time around. They was really trash. They had to go get Drexler. So the thing is, even other teams like the Rockets wasn't even standing pat. Like when they saw that even though they won a title, they was getting their ass kicked that second year. They had to go get Drexler. So you want us to pretend as if the Bulls front office was just going to stand pat, sit on their hands, not look at the landscape of the league, try to go get pieces to supplement, because they even did that with Jordan. Like they didn't just put their hands. They didn't see they had Pippen and Jordan and said, all right, we done making moves. Every year they was always trying to bring in a little piece here, a little piece there, bring in Ron Harper here. All right, we lost Horace Grant. How can we replace that? Let's go get Dennis Rodman. Even when they was at their pinnacle, they had their eyes on Tony Kukoc. Right, we got our eyes on Tony Kukoc. We're gonna bring him in and add him to our court. Let's go get the best Australian player, Luke Ongley. Right, let's go get the best 3-point shooter in the league. Right, Steve Kerr. We lost John Paxson. We lose B.J. Armstrong to the expansion draft. How we replace that? They was always that front office was elite. So you want us to just eliminate all the things that made the Bulls great. That was Phil Jackson in the front office, and just lock a roster around Pippen and say this team has to go win a championship. And even if you lock that 94 team, that was still a 55-win team that was in the mix to win it all. You keep that core together, you're looking at keeping that core together for 3-4 years, and all they're going to do is get better as a core. Yeah, they're going to have a shot. Just like Isaiah Thomas said, they could win. He didn't say they definitively will win, but if you're telling me a 55-win team with the second best player in the league, right, with the best defender in the league, don't have a shot, man, that's crazy talk, man. That's crazy.
You know why it's not crazy? Because here's the kicker, right? Because I've already said, I didn't hold no roster up or anything. I agreed, if Jerry Krause were to supplement and replace the production of Michael Jordan some way, yeah, they could. I mean, I absolutely believe that statement, right? But Isaiah Thomas said strictly, if Scott, if you just take Jordan didn't come back, they just would have won. It was a blank statement. He didn't he didn't sit there and say the things as y'all saying. I'm not disagreeing with that. My whole gripe of the situation is, and we all know this, Isaiah Thomas don't believe that.
Okay, but hold on. But you thinking he don't mean it or not? That ain't the conversation. That's a different conversation. We talking about if they could have won or if they couldn't have won.
I'm gonna tell you why.
He said he believes they could have won. You mad at the fact that you think he lying?
But I already told
How do you know?
Why, because guess what though, right? Scottie Pippen gone to other talented teams after the Bulls. Correct? What happened? They ain't win no championship. He been on talented teams before. He needed Jordan.
Oh, hold on, True. Let's just be honest. It was not a secret that after Pippen left in '98, he was on bad wheels. That back wasn't the same. And it wasn't like that's an excuse. It was visible in his play. You could literally watch him with Houston and Portland. He would literally in play stoppages be bent over holding his back during the play stoppages. So we know nobody says that Pippen was Scottie Pippen after 98. Once 98 hit and his back was just completely done, he wasn't the same. So if we're talking about pinnacle prime Scottie Pippen, if you give Scottie Pippen, if there's no Michael Jordan in the league and the Bulls were forced to build around Scottie Pippen in the 90s, you're telling me that with that front office and with Scottie Pippen's talents, that they couldn't get one in a league where we never knew who was going to be in the finals.
I'm gonna tell you who they could have got, Lamont. I'm gonna tell you who they could have got, and it's a player that they could have got that could have. He wasn't going to match Jordan's production, but he would have came close to it, in my opinion, in that era. I think you put Latrell Sprewell with the Chicago Bulls.
Man, out my face, man.
That's the championship. Hey, Sprewell led the Knicks.
I'm capping. I'm capping though.
Sprewell led the Knicks to the finals.
But here's the thing though. I'm glad you mentioned the Knicks though, man. The Knicks, to that point though, Lamont. I'm not denying these things that could happen. But Chicago Bulls was so desperate to have Michael Jordan on their team, they paid this man $32 million in the 90s. Listen.
No, that just tells you, the only thing that tells you is that all of the teams in the league had money to pay players, and they was just harboring it, and they were just underpaying a whole bunch of guys. Because remember, Scottie Pippen was locked under a bad contract for a long time. Yeah. These teams and these owners were, because remember, it wasn't just Pippen. Hakeem Olajuwon wasn't getting paid. Karl Malone wasn't getting paid. None of the best players were getting paid until the CBA changed. And then towards the end of their careers, they all got paid. Karl Malone finally got paid when he didn't start making over $10 million till the end of his career after the CBA changed. But Karl Malone was worth way more than that. Magic Johnson, all these guys had bad contracts. Yeah. So Jordan's contract happened to end at the right time. And because of what he had done in the league, he could literally ask for any dollar amount and the Bulls would have to pay it.
Yeah, but my whole point is they was quick. Listen, you know how cheap the Bulls, we all know how cheap the Bulls is. They was quick. Like I said, Jordan was going to go to the Knicks, whatever, right? If they didn't pay him. My point is, if they to that point of, well, we have Scottie Pippen, so why we got to pay? Well, it's Jordan. I understand trying to keep Jordan. I understand that. But still, they paid. Listen, that was a lot of money.
Like, no, it's not a lot of money. That was not a lot of money to the Bulls. Then, no, it still was not a lot of money. Jordan by himself, Jordan's jersey sales is going to make that.
You got to look at his worth.
Yeah,
like they was just penny pinching everybody.
But listen, I'm not listening. Like I said before, I'm not. Yeah, but it's back. With that being said, too, though, right? I want to talk about that GM. Like I said, listen, Jerry Krause technically was the best GM in the '90s. I've said this plenty of times. I'm not going to disagree with that. But let's not. He almost made some bad moves also. So I don't think he would have made great moves to build around Scottie Pippen. Let's not forget how he felt about Scottie Pippen. They was going to trade Scott. He wanted to trade Scottie Pippen for Sean Kemp and Travis McGrady. It was like we all know how valuable Scottie Pippen is. So I don't trust his judgment to that point of building around a team to win a championship. I don't think he would have done a good enough job to do that.
Did he trade Scottie Pippen for Sean Kemp?
Record.
No,
What's
he
on his
didn't
track
because
record?
Jordan was on his
He tried to.
Okay. But a good GM listens to his players.
But
A good
Jordan
GM
ain't
said,
there though.
"No, hold on. How do you know? How do you know it was just Jordan that said that? Because a good GM is going to listen to the people around him and not make silly moves."
I mean, listen. Only person I heard for a fact that was adamant on don't do that was Jordan. And then
Jordan never came out and said I was the one that told him not to trade Pippen. Jordan just came out and said I'm glad they didn't trade him for Sean.
You're right. You know what? I misspoke on that. You technically right. But now he was adamant on the Trace McGrady thing. He did. He was adamant.
Facts. He said he'll leave the Bulls if they did that.
So my point is though, Grant? We understand how great Jerry Krause is a Hall of Fame GM, right? But do we trust that he would have done a good job of building around Scott Pippen? Because it's different between building around Michael Jordan and building around
but hold on.
Pippen.
But true, you got to think in '94, they was just one player away. That ain't a whole bunch of building. That's just figuring out what one player works. Like Scottie Pippen covered so many roles. Like Scottie Pippen is the one that elevated B.J. Armstrong to being an all-star. Scottie Pippen elevated Tony Kukoc. Tony Kukoc was looking like an all-star in '94. Like Scottie Pippen's game elevated people. So you got to think if they were able to go get a competent scorer at the shooting guard position out and not Pete Myers, you don't think Scottie Pippen game would have beautifully complemented and made that player better as well? Scottie Pippen's game just naturally made everybody better. They was just missing a big piece.
Man, I gotta get the 2K. You know the 2K got the different errors in GMO. I gotta see. Take Jordan off and see what happens, man. Because I don't listen. It sounds good, but the thing, I'm just saying.
No, '94 happened. They won 55 games. They was one of the best teams in the league. Scottie Pippen adapted his game in one summer and went from a role player to a top 5 player in the league.
Third in MVP voting, all NBA first team,
he went top 5
NBA
for
first team defense.
He made that adapted in less than 6 months. His mode changed from role player to superstar top player in the league mode. Who else can do that in the NBA?
And that next season, and guess what? That next season, all that happened. That next season, he hold that sneaker up. He pulled that sneaker up. Lamar, and that next season, all that being said,
refs ain't gonna give him a chance. That's what he
but true.
I want Mike back.
But true. But see, the thing is true. The one thing you gotta understand about basketball is good players always gravitate to other good players. There ain't no such thing as a good player that just want to be on a team by yourself, just struggle hooping. Good players always want to add other good pieces around them because good players love winning. So you'll find me a good player that wants to go struggle hoop.
Carmelo Anthony.
And look what happened to his career.
That's a trick question, Lamont. Listen, I agree with that. That's a trick, but listen.
Nobody want to go struggle hooping around the court with bums.
You're right about that.
You think Scottie Pippen loved playing with Pete Myers?
Shoot, man. Hey, why?
Randy Brown and Jed Bushler subbing in.
But why Jerry Krause?
If the Bulls are not bringing somebody in that's better than Pippen, how they winning?
Jason Caffey subbing in.
Now that's one thing I do disagree with you, Mac. I don't think you needed to get a person that was necessarily better than Scottie Pippen. I think you just needed somebody that maybe is the better scorer. If that makes sense.
I mean, if the Bulls
or more scoring,
they would win. They would play Scottie Pippen with Garnett.
Or imagine this. What if the year that Jordan retired, the Bulls said, "Fuck it, we gonna go to San Antonio Spur route. We just gonna tank and go push for that number 1 pick, just like the Spurs did to get Tim Duncan." And what if they would have messed around and got the number 1 and 2 pick going into that draft?
What, 99?
No, we're talking about the 90. We're talking about, because remember, there's no Jordan. We're talking about going into 94. If they tank, so we got to look at that. Who's in that 94, 95 draft?
Jason Kidd, Grant Hill.
My fault.
Y'all barbecue chicken if they tank.
All I know is this: you gotta make
the league is in trouble if they tank.
That's my point. My point is you gotta do hypothetical them tanking and to prove my point that they could have won.
No, because we literally saw a team do it in the 90s.
Yeah, but that's Tim Duncan. They're not
You
winning with those
really think?
Jason Kidd.
Hold on. Tim Duncan wasn't that.
But the
Tim Duncan
Spurs,
wasn't all that coming out of college. Wasn't nobody
but the
really.
Spurs are kind
Come
of
on,
forced
man.
to, Lamont.
Well, hold on, we don't respect Tim Duncan. Lamar, you wilding out, bro.
Lamar, you don't believe that, bro.
Hold on. Watch this. Hey, True. Check this out. Hey, Mac Def and True. Tell me one Tim Duncan Wake Forest highlight.
In ACC game versus Duke.
Funny. You know what? No, I know that.
No. I said, tell me one moment. No. Y'all ain't watched not one Wake Forest basketball game.
No, I give you. The point guard was the more of a. I know the.
Randolph Childress was more exciting.
National player. He was the national player of the year.
No, hold on. I didn't ask you what he won. The Mac Def. I said since Tim Duncan was this hot commodity, tell me one Tim Duncan college highlight.
Hold on, that was what supposed to mean, Lamar. You always use this weird angle that don't mean nothing.
But he not. But you know he not.
Because y'all trying to hype up Tim Duncan coming out of college. He was a good player, but nobody knew he was going to be that good.
Tim Duncan fundamental.
Hey Lamar, we don't need.
Nobody knew Tim Duncan was going to be that good.
That's BS. Are you serious? Oh my!
I agree. Not as good as what he is. Not what he became.
Everybody knew it was over. Everybody knew it was over when San Antonio got that number one pick.
Hold on,
come on,
we understand. I think
in real time it was a wrap.
Yeah, we all agree that, of course, nobody thought Tim Duncan was going to be that great. But we not going to deny, like, that man was number one pick in the draft. Like, let's not. Come on. Let's not like.
So was Kwame Brown.
All right, you see the Kwame Brown. See that? All right,
No, what's funny is y'all don't believe that the Bulls could have won a championship without Jordan. Like,
why not?
The amazing cap on this stream is crazy.
No, hold on. Let me ask you this, Mac Def. Hold on, Mac Def. Let me ask you this.
A championship without Jordan.
Mac Def.
It's like, bro, this is
Mac Def. Did any team in the '90s win a championship without Jordan?
What?
Did any team in the '90s win a championship without Jordan? Okay, so it's possible to win a championship without Jordan.
Not the Bulls.
Hold on.
Why not?
That's because Jordan played for the Bulls.
That was the
you said you can't. Hold on.
And I'm answering it 100%.
No, you said you can't win a championship without Jordan, but it was multiple teams in the '90s that won championships without Jordan. Right? But that's because the Bulls had Jordan.
Do you, Lamont? You don't believe that Scottie Pippen and the Bulls with Phil Jackson in that front office could win a championship? You don't.
Oh my God!
You just running content. We just chatting.
What is your argument for them not? That's what I don't understand.
I don't just because of the idolization for MJ.
Replace Jordan.
Now they don't get out the Eastern
with
Conference.
A better roster and an all-star team. Replace him with everything.
Well, the one thing that I saw. Hold on. The one thing that I saw was Jordan couldn't get out the East without a good third option.
Who was the third option?
He lost Horace Grant. They couldn't get out the East.
He's a third option. Horace Grant's a third.
Well, it was.
Horace Grant was their third option.
The BJ Armstrong is a better scorer than Horace.
Man, BJ Armstrong was never the third. It was always Horace Grant.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So in '94, I think BJ averaged more points than Horace Grant. BJ Armstrong was an all-star.
No MJ. Now he's the third option, right?
Man, just completely looking down on
Horace
Grant rebounding defense. Just man.
But that's not winning a championship.
Hey, what up, Tony? Though, man. What up?
You don't win championships with points alone, man.
Okay.
Y'all think? Hold on. So in the East, forget the championship. I'm saying replace him with a better roster, an all-star teammate, a scorer, everything that y'all saying. They're not getting out of the Eastern Conference and put Pippen at his peak throughout the '90s. I'm not even gonna go back Pippen in '98.
Hold on.
At his peak.
Hold on. But a Knicks team with one good player could get to the finals. But a young Shaq and Penny could get to the finals. All these other teams can get to the finals with subpar role players and all this other stuff. But you telling me Pippen and the best front office and the best coach in the league couldn't?
No, they couldn't.
Tom, can I say this? Hold on.
No, they couldn't. Hold on, let me prove it. Hold on.
The Knicks was super scrubby outside of Ewing.
Let me prove it. Number one.
You can't prove it, man.
Pippen at his peak. Hold on. Pippen at his peak, and we're going through the Eastern Conference, and we're putting Pippen at his peak with everything that y'all just said hypothetically. that gauntlet in the East is going to be tough. That's number.
There's no gauntlet in the East, man. Stop
There is
lying.
no
in the East,
gauntlet,
man.
bro. You
You
talking
in this
about
damn
Indiana?
gauntlet in the
Hold on,
goddamn East.
Time
I
out.
can't take it.
Time out. Hold on. Did they beat? Hold on. Did they beat the Knicks? Renegade. Did they beat the Knicks?
Word. That
Did they beat the? Did they beat the New York Knicks?
Oh, that's
No.
What you mean?
Do you honestly think? Hold on. Do you honestly think that they're going to beat Shaq and Penny?
Shaq and Penny was only together for 2 years.
Saying that one, yeah.
Oh, okay, so
come on, man.
94.
We
Okay,
gotta-
so 95 and 96 is a wrap, right?
No,
they're not beating Shaq and Penny.
It's not a wrap.
They're so
because Mac Def, here's what kills you,
with
Mac
all
Def.
the hypotheticals.
No, Mac Def, here's what kills you. Check this out. If Jordan is not in the league, that means Horace Grant don't ever leave the Bulls. That means Shaq and Penny don't ever get Horace Grant. Because that was the driving force that pushed them over the top.
And did the Bulls in that 1 year, did the Bulls beat the New York Knicks in 94? No, they didn't. Regardless of what you say, they didn't in 94. So if they couldn't beat the New York Knicks in 94,
talking about 95.
What makes you okay, what happens in 91, 92, and 93 then?
I don't know what the team is going to look like.
Pistons and the Knicks.
I don't know what the team. No, Mac Def. What we're saying is we don't expect that front office to just sit on their hands and not start building around Pippen. See, I don't know what the team looks like if in 91 you remove Jordan. I don't know what pieces they put around
here
Pippen.
Giving you the team. I'm giving you the
no. You can't give me the team because you ain't the GM.
A competent scorer, an all-star.
No.
A better roster. And I'm still saying they're not walking through the bad boy Pistons. Pippen is not leading them past no Patrick Ewing and the Knicks.
Hold on, Patrick Ewing and who else? Hold on, Patrick Ewing and who else? Who you talking about?
I'm simply saying that the Chicago Bulls are not getting past the bad boy Pistons and Patrick Ewing in the early 90s. That's what I'm saying. With all the confidence that y'all are talking about.
There wasn't no bad boys in the 90s, my guy.
They're not. Are they beating? So in 91, they're beating the bad boy Pistons in 91 without Jordan.
One-handed Zeke ain't the bad boys.
Damn.
Are they? Answer the question. Answer the question.
They was sad, bro. They went out sad. They was injured.
Y'all don't believe that. That's what I'm talking about.
That Pistons was injured though. You can't cap on that. But hold up, I chat GPT this, y'all. I asked chat GPT.
Yeah, so we need a little something in this motherfucker.
I said, could Chicago Bulls win a championship without Michael Jordan in the 90s? The Chicago Bulls winning a championship without Michael Jordan in the 90s is an intriguing what-if scenario. Let's break down the key factors that might influence whether this would have been possible. Number one, 1993, 1994, and 1995 seasons without Jordan. We all understand what happened there. Of course, he wasn't there in 94.
Read it, man. Don't summarize it.
All right, my fault. But I thought, okay. You want me to read it? Okay. 93-94 season after Michael Jordan's first retirement, the Bulls still performed well, finishing with a 55-27 record. Scott Pippen had it. That's why you want to read it. Had an MVP caliber season, and team remained competitive thanks to the strong supporting cast, including Horace Grant, B.J. Armstrong, and Tony Kukoc. The Bulls made it to the Eastern Conference semifinals by a loss to the New York Knicks in a tough 7-game series. The 95 season, even with Jordan returning near the end of the season, the Bulls finished 47-35 and were eliminated by Orlando Magic in the Eastern Conference semifinals. However, the team struggled during Jordan's absence, suggests that while they were competitive, they lacked the extra push needed for a championship run without him.
Yeah, but nobody's saying without. Everybody's
now listen to what I'm saying.
It ain't done. It ain't done yet. It got Chevy G cooking.
This is still based on see what you need to do, True, is you need to go back up to the top and you need to type in, let's presume that the Bulls are able to replace Michael Jordan's production with another star caliber player.
Oh, I'm gonna do that next.
Now type that in.
No, let's finish.
Type that in. Type that in.
The Eastern Conference Final.
Let's finish.
Told you they're not getting out the East.
What y'all doing is y'all handicapping the Bulls to not.
Yeah, y'all handicapping them.
But every other
no, we're
team
not.
Hold on.
No, we're not doing that.
We don't know what it's gonna say. I don't know what it's saying.
Tell ChatGPT to consider the coaching and the Bulls having the best front office and their ability to go get other star players as well.
could they have won a championship in the 90s without Jordan?
I gotta read it all.
You gave it to parameters of locking the roster.
No, I know I'm not. No, I didn't. It could, I don't know exactly what I'm
four
saying.
Eastern
I don't know.
I told you the East was a gauntlet. Y'all true.
Let's keep on reading. And number 2, the competition in the 90s. The 90s featured several strong teams such as New York Knicks, Indiana Pacers, Miami Heat, and Orlando Magic in the Eastern Conference, and the Houston Rockets, Seattle Supersonics, and Utah Jazz, and the Spurs in the West. Without Jordan, Without Jordan, the Bulls would have found a way to overcome not only their Eastern Conference rivals, but also elite Western Conference teams. The Houston Rockets, for example, won back-to-back championships in 94 95 during Jordan's absence. Number 3, Scottie Pippen's leadership. Scottie Pippen emerged as a top-tier player and leader during Jordan's absence, showcasing his ability to lead the team both offensively and defensively. His versatility, basketball IQ, and defensive prowess were crucial. However, while Pippen was an excellent leader, the Bulls lacked another elite scorer and clutch performer who could consistently close games in critical playoff moments. Player depth and potential trades. See, this is what you see. I told you, Lamont, let's wait. Bulls roster had depth with players like Tony Kukoc, B.J. Armstrong, and Horace Grant. But they would likely need to acquire another all-star level talent to make a serious championship push. Bulls management, led by Jerry Krause, was known for savvy moves, so it's plausible that they could have engineered a trade or signing to bolster their chances. Phil Jackson coaching inability to maximize his roster potential was a significant factor in the Bulls' success, even without Jordan. Jackson's triangle offense, defensive schemes, and motivational tactics kept the team competitive. However, without a true superstar like Jordan, execute at high-pressure situations, the team's ceiling might have been limited. Conclusion. While the Bulls were competitive without Jordan and could have potentially made a deep playoff runs, winning a championship without him in the 90s would have been highly challenging. The combination of strong competition, the absence of clutch and elite scoring like Jordan, and a lack of second superstar would likely have prevented them from securing a title. However, with the right moves and a bit of luck, it's not entirely out of the question that could have pulled off the prize championship run. So that's why I told you, Lamont, let me read it first. To your point.
That's all we've been saying.
Hey.
Nah, man.
All we've been saying is that they could.
Saying y'all got to get lucky. So yeah, tanking. If they tank Lamont, you right. You right.
Lamont,
maybe if they tank.
Hey, I didn't listen.
Hold on. Isaiah Thomas said could. ChatGPT just said they could have pulled off a championship run.
And that was my original point.
You said no matter what happened that they can't do it without MJ.
They could.
Hey man, I'm just saying.
Yeah, MacDeff saying even if they add a star and that they couldn't win nothing.
Yeah, I'm saying all that. Hell no, they not getting out the
Hold on, MacDeff, because listen, MacDeff, I was on your side, MacDeff, but so you trying to tell me? Let's do this. So you trying to tell me? Let me
hold on. Type in the ChatGPT. True. If they add Latrell Sprewell, what did it talk about that one player? Because somebody mentioned Latrell Sprewell.
Yeah,
I think True might have did.
Because he the athletic.
Oh, I mean Herm. Yeah,
he could score. He could score on 3 levels. He was one of the elite.
Project. Just type in if they add Latrell Sprewell. Project if they could have won at least one championship in the 90s.
Latrell Sprewell.
Sprewell was my boy,
he was balling out in Golden State before he came to the Knicks.
Before he choked that Carlissimo.
Man, they could have added Latrell.
But if he led the Knicks to a title, goddamn it, he could have helped Scottie Pippen. He could have helped Scottie Pippen.
It's definitely an interesting conversation. I ain't gonna lie though. We need to do these more though.
With Dennis Rodman. Don't forget about Dennis.
Now
they don't gotta do that. They already knew that.
Man,
they already know that.
No, you don't, because Sprewell was that good. People keep forgetting how good Sprewell actually was.
Yeah, because he played in Golden State, so a lot of people just, you know what I mean? They only latched on to him when he came into a Knicks jersey.
No, he didn't really make much noise when he was with Golden State.
Shit, that motherfucker was popular as fuck when he was with Golden State.
He was that nigga with the ball head Spree. Shit.
He was putting cats on posters.
Yeah. It type it up now. Hold on. This is interesting now. Hold on. They got it. Oh man. Added Latrell Sprewell to Chicago Bulls as a replacement for Michael Jordan creates an interesting hypothetical scenario. Let's analyze how this change could impact the Bulls' chance of winning championship in the 90s. Number one, Latrell Sprewell's skill set. Offensive capabilities. Sprewell was a dynamic scorer known for explosive athleticism, ability to create his own shot, slashing ability. In his prime, he was capable of putting up significant points and could have provided the Bulls with strong scoring options on the wing. Defensive abilities. While not on the same level as Jordan defensively, Sprewell was a solid defender, especially on the perimeter. He could have contributed to the Bulls' defense, which was one of the strengths during the 90s. Playmaking and versatility. Sprewell was also a decent passer and could handle the ball, but his playmaking ability wasn't as advanced as Jordan's. However, his versatility would have allowed him to fit in the Bulls system effectively. Impact on team dynamics. Complementing Scottie Pippen, Sprewell's presence would provide the Bulls with another high-scoring option to complement Scottie Pippen. Pippen's all-around game and leadership, combined with Sprewell's scoring, would form a formidable duo. Triangle offense. Phil Jackson's triangle offense was designed to leverage the strength of multiple players, particularly those with scoring, passing, and off-ball movement skills. Sprewell's skill set could fit well into this system, although he wouldn't be as natural fit as Jordan, particularly in terms of decision-making and leadership in high-pressure situations. Potential for a championship run. Eastern Conference competition with Sprewell instead of Jordan, the Bulls would remain competitive in the Eastern Conference. Sprewell could potentially provide enough firepower to make up for the loss of Jordan's scoring, at least to some extent. However, teams like the New York Knicks, Pacers, Miami Heat, and Orlando Magic would still pose significant challenges. Matchups against the Western Conference teams. To win a championship, the Bulls would need to beat the top teams from the Western Conference, such as the Houston Rockets, Seattle Supersonics, Utah Jazz, and the San Antonio Spurs. Sprewell would have added a competitive edge, but without Jordan's unparalleled scoring ability and defensive impact, it would be a tougher challenge. Number 4, leadership and clutch factor. Leadership void. One of Jordan's most critical attributes was his leadership and ability to elevate his teammates, particularly in clutch situations. Sprewell, while a talented player, did not have the same leadership qualities or proven track record in high-pressure moments as Jordan. This could be a significant disadvantage in critical playoff games. Clutch performance, Jordan's ability to dominate in clutch situations, particularly in the playoffs, was unmatched. Sprewell, while a good scorer, was not known for being a consistent clutch performer on the same level. This difference could have substantial impact in tight playoff series. Supporting cast and potential trades. Need for additional moves. With Sprewell instead of Jordan, the Bulls might need to make additional roster moves to bolster their championship odds. They would likely need to add another star-level player or a reliable third option to compensate for the gap left by Jordan's absence. Adding Latrell Sprewell to the Bulls roster in place of Michael Jordan could keep the team highly competitive and potentially a strong playoff contender. However, winning a championship would still be challenging. Sprewell's scoring and defensive skills would certainly help, but without Jordan's unique blend of scoring, leadership, and clutch play, the Bulls' chances of winning a title would likely diminish. They might still be capable of making deep playoff runs, but securing a championship will require overcoming significant hurdles, including strong competition and lack of proven elite clutch performer. That's interesting.
Very.
And they said it could out. They said it'd be
Very
challenging.
interesting, man.
I don't know about
And all Isaiah Thomas said
they
was
basically said no,
Could
right?
all Isaiah Thomas said was they might get one,
Mhm.
not 6.
But
I don't know.
I'm gonna say this, Lamont. I'm gonna say this because I don't want nobody in the chat to think that. Because I don't agree that the Bulls will win the title, but the reason I brought up Sprewell because he had the athleticism. He could get
He
his
fit
own
the bill,
shot.
basically.
Yeah, he could
Let's do Reggie Miller.
feel to a certain degree.
No, hell no, that won't work with no Reggie Miller.
Nah, it won't work.
I'm gonna
with
try
Reggie
it.
Miller.
Hell no, Reggie Miller is garbage.
Defender at all.
But we not discrediting it. We not discrediting Michael.
It would need to be an Iverson or somebody. It would need to be somebody like that.
Mitch Richmond. Let's do Mitch
Iverson.
Richmond. Let's do Mitch Richmond.
I don't know if you'll be willing to give up the rock.
What about Mitch Richmond?
Yeah, Rich Richmond, all he did was shoot threes, though. I mean, I don't know. I think
Let's try
everybody.
Mitch Richmond because Mitch Richmond is known as the second best shooting guard in the '90s. So we should. I mean, let's try that.
Drexler? How about Drexler?
Yeah, Drexler might have been the second best shooting guard in the '90s.
Yeah, but he was old by that point, though. By at least by the mid '90s.
No, he didn't. He was still averaging 20 a game in '94 and '95.
And he was only 31.
Yeah, but he was no longer the player he used to be, though.
Yes, he was. That man was still dunking on people in '95.
He was not the player he used to be when he was in Portland, man.
Oh, man. Boy, y'all wasn't watching Drexler. Drexler was balling tonight. He saved it king.
Yeah, let me.
Okay, so after '95, what was Drexler doing then?
Yeah, went to the Rockets. I mean, he was with the Rockets. I forgot where he went after that, but we wasn't doing that.
I'm talking about how good was he after '95?
I don't know, because nobody cared about him after '95. They was trash.
Exactly.
Okay,
he was a show himself.
Hey, so replacing Michael Jordan with Clyde Drexler on Chicago Bulls in the '90s creates a fascinating scenario. Clyde Drexler was one of the best shooting guards of that era and had well-rounded game similar to Jordan. But how would his addition affect the Bulls' championship prospects? Let's break it down. Number one, Clyde Drexler's skill set. Offensive abilities. Drexler was an excellent scorer, capable of slashing to the basket, finishing with authority, and shooting from the mid-range. He also was a competent three-point shooter, which was less of a strength for Jordan. Drexler's ability to score in various ways would have fit within the Bulls' offensive scheme. Defensive skills. Drexler was a solid defender, known for his quick hands and ability to guard multiple positions, much like Jordan. While he might not have been quite as dominant defensive as Jordan, Drexler's presence would still contribute significantly to Bulls' perimeter defense. Playmaking and rebounding. Drexler was also known for his playmaking abilities, often functioning as a secondary ball handler and passer. His rebounding from the guard position was a notable strength, allowing him to contribute in multiple facets of the game, similar to Jordan's style. Impact on team dynamics. Complementing on Scottie Pippen, Drexler's all-around game would complement Scottie Pippen as well. Both players were versatile, capable of contributing offensively and defensively, and their skills would likely mesh with the triangle offense. Drexler's ability to play off ball, his versatility would be a key asset. Triangle offense. Phil Jackson triangle offense relies on players who can pass, shoot, and move without the ball. Drexler's skill set aligns with this system, potentially making him seamless fit. His experience and basketball IQ will help maintain the offensive fluidity, much like Jordan. Potential for a championship run. Eastern Conference competition. With Drexler instead of Jordan, the Bulls will remain strong contenders in the Eastern Conference. Drexler's ability to score, defend, and facilitate would ensure the team stays competitive against rivals like the New York Knicks, the Indiana Pacers, Miami Heat, and Orlando Magic. Matchups against the Western Conference teams. Drexler had proven himself against Western Conference competition, particularly with the Portland Trail Blazers, whom he led the NBA Finals twice in 1990 and 1992. He had experience playing against teams like Houston Rockets, Seattle Supersonics, Utah Jazz, and San Antonio Spurs, which would be valuable in a potential finals matchup. Leadership and clutch factor. Leadership qualities. Drexler was a respected leader and had a calm, steady demeanor. While his leadership style was different from Jordan's fiery competitiveness, he was known for being a positive locker room presence and a player who could lead by example. Clutch performance. Although Drexler was not as celebrated as Jordan for his clutch performance, he still was a reliable player in critical situations. His experience and confidence in big game would be beneficial, though the Bulls might miss Jordan's unique ability to take over games single-handedly in crunch time. Supporting cast and potential trades, complementary pieces. The Bulls' supporting cast, including the players like Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, Tony Kukoc, and B.J. Armstrong, will still provide a complementary pieces around Drexler. The team might not make significant roster changes, as Drexler's all-around skills will fit naturally within the existing structure. Conclusion: replacing Michael Jordan with Clyde Drexler will still make Chicago Bulls a strong championship contender in the 90s. Drexler's versatile skill set, defensive capabilities, and experience would make him a good fit for the team system and dynamics. However, while Drexler was an elite player, he did not possess Jordan's unparalleled ability to dominate games, particularly in the playoffs. With Drexler, the Bulls could still potentially win a championship, especially considering their strong supporting cast, excellent coach under Phil Jackson, and proven success of the triangle offense. The team's path title would likely be more challenging without Jordan's unique impact, but a championship still be reaching with Jackson as the leader. So hey, old Drexler.
I can see him winning a championship with Clyde.
Hey, even
though it was like in the early '90s, like between '91 and '93, I can see them winning 1 or 2 championships.
They said 90. They said 90s period. They said, listen, he already did what he did in 90. You see what he did in 92. So, hey, man.
Yeah, in the early '90s, I can see him win a couple of championships.
So, hey,
but like in the mid to late '90s, no.
So, I mean, even though I still disagree, I still totally disagree. I do have more respect for the could, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to, bro. You got to, because if you believe they're a championship contender, then that's the could right there. If you don't handicap the Bulls and they're able to make moves, you know what I mean, and supplement the rest of that roster, and the person making moves is Jerry Krause, the best GM of that time. The person that's in charge of making all of that work is the best coach of all time in Phil Jackson. Then you got to say they could have. You know what I mean? Would they? We don't know. But could they? Yeah, I'm gonna take that.
Hey,
and that's all I was saying.
Yeah,
what
up, man? No, thanks for having me up, man. Appreciate it. I think it's kind of like that statement is true. I know, hey, I'm a Jordan fan too, but it is what it is. I saw it, and without Michael Jordan, just keeping Horace Grant, no Dennis Rodman, no Clyde Drexler, you still got a 50-something win team. They were contenders anyway. So you add Clyde Drexler to that team, maybe give up Bill Winnington or something like that.
Dang.
With Will Perdue or something. I don't know what the hell they give up. Portland was obviously ready to get rid of him because they pretty much gave him to Houston for nothing. So that deal could have got done. You know what I'm saying? That deal could have easily got done, and I don't see how the Bulls get worse with him. You know what I'm saying? They were already champion. They were like one shot away from the finals or the conference finals without Michael Jordan.
One bad call.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, that's crazy. You just thought like they know Jordan wasn't coming back at all. And it was like, hey, we get Clyde. I mean, dang, shoot.
Yeah, at the same time, it just goes to show just what they needed. Clyde was like arguably like the second best shooting guard in the league.
Yeah, I mean he's right behind Jordan on the Dream Team at that position. So that's what it is. And not only that, Clyde has pedigree, you know what I'm saying, well coached in college, seasoned, so it's not like he's gonna have a problem with the triangle.
Yeah.
It just means that you could replace Jordan, but you would need a quality superstar to replace him. But it's possible.
Is that?
Yeah. So yeah,
I mean, I can agree with the whole late '90s. Maybe not. Maybe not definitely not as effective as Michael Jordan was in the late '90s. But I think he still would have been effective enough for them to win.
Yeah, in the early '90s, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They are more likely to get the throne, but keep in mind it says won a title. I don't know about winning 6 titles or even 3 more, but a title, yeah.
Winning one, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I ain't gonna lie though, man. I'm more. I mean,
you moving over to my
don't change your hand. Don't come on the other side.
Now we just waiting on you, so crazy. Come on, get over here. Get over here, man.
Hold on. I still disagree, but I'm hearing more the points.
I just disagree.
Okay, you're getting up on that fence. You're getting up on that fence, huh?
Not to say if they're contenders, they were contenders absolutely. Without Jordan, but are they gonna win one? That was the question.
Hey, I'm saying if you add Clyde Drexler to the '94 team, I think the team goes to the finals.
Come on, without a doubt.
I agree.
Okay, but do they beat the Rockets though?
Yeah, they do.
That's what the Knicks went 7.
I mean, they do.
Come on, they do, bro.
Like I'm not on Mac Def timing where like he said.
Yeah, I'm not on his timing either. Mac Def is dying on the Bulls, man. He don't die.
You gotta
always. It was MJ.
I hear the could is the
Yeah, he said they
is
could have
really the
got
word.
one. You know what I mean?
Isaiah Thomas still a hater though. He's still a hater. But
That's
Yeah, he
Okay.
True.
is a hater, man. He
True got
dying
a
on that.
problem. He got a beef with Zeke.
he's still a hater though.
But Allen Iverson really
He mad
won
he
with the
wasn't on
Bulls.
the dream team and all that. That's what he mad about.
It wasn't just Jordan
Come
though. But
on,
the
man.
funny, but the weird, but this is
Last
why I
Dance
like.
too.
But it's weird because it's more than just Jordan. The reason why he was on the dream team. That's neither here or there. Like that's. I mean, your best friend. Reason why, well, one of the reasons why you're in the dream team.
You know who sunk the ship. You know who sunk his battle.
It was a bunch of people that sunk that ship though.
Man, come on, man.
All
Who
I'm
was the
saying
main
is,
one?
True.
It was
Who was the
only
main
one
one?
guy.
I'm not gonna stand with you by this,
It was
True.
only one guy who
Come
had
on.
his face.
I'm not on your side on this one,
no,
True.
I'm gonna say this: if Magic Johnson and Larry Bird wanted him on that team, he would have been on that team.
Nah, hell no.
I
If
mean,
Jordan said he ain't
it's
on
got
it,
to be some. I mean, it had to be some kind of foul play.
Magic Johnson or Larry Bird.
No, you understand. Larry Bird.
I just say it had to be foul play because they let Chuck Daly coach the team and ain't one Piston on the team. Like that don't make no sense, man.
No, hear me out with the Larry Bird.
Because it was the guy with the shoes, man. The guy with the billboards, man.
Listen. Larry, who you think was that before Michael Jordan? Larry Bird, Michael. They had a look, bro. They was the infamous picture of them three.
And who beat all of them? And who beat all of them and got 2 rings in his pocket?
But here's this is what I'm trying to tell you though, Moose. This is what I'm trying to tell you. He didn't make. Listen, it wasn't Jordan. There was a bunch of people that didn't like him on that team. Let's make that clear anyway. Like it was.
Okay, who was the final call? Who was the guy who had his face plastered on billboards in downtown
We don't. To be honest with you, we don't really know who had the final call. Not Team USA, technically, right? Because they make the decision, right? Technically speaking, but Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, too. And the reason why I'm saying that too, right? Dennis Rodman made a comment. Speaking of Dennis Rodman been brought up a lot during the stream. Speaking of Dennis Rodman, I don't know if y'all remember, Dennis Rodman had a comment about Larry Bird. If he said that he was black, he'd be any regular basketball player. Right?
Hey, he's taking that back though. He has.
No.
He's recanted that statement.
But here's the thing though, right? Who co-signed that? Who backed him on them comments?
Oh, Isaiah did. That was a bad boys thing though.
But still, though, him and Bird was friends. They was cool, and that's how you feel. Now in the Magic Johnson situation,
never leave my brother.
Magic Johnson caught HIV, and Isaiah Thomas was spreading rumors that he was gay and all that. And at that time, when because at that time it was known
that
as
stereotype was out there.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why he was not on the team. That's his facts. That's why when they shut down, he was crying, right? Isaiah Thomas was balling, like he was wrong what he did. That's why, you know what I mean? That's the reason. I mean, listen, don't get it twisted. Now, could have Jordan been the final call, whatever case may be? Sure, but I'm gonna say this though: if Jordan, if people wouldn't, because I don't think Jordan's that pit. Like Jordan may not like somebody and be on the team with somebody, right? Like he punched people in the face, be on Pete. Like, you know what I mean? He played with Kwame Brown before, so like I don't think that'd be a big. You know what I mean? If he may not like Isaiah Thomas on his head, but I don't think he was necessarily like, you know what, whatever, cool. But other people were the reason why he wasn't on that team. That's why. But that's why I don't like how Isaiah Thomas trying to paint it like it was just.
You make a good point that that nobody else really makes, because at the end of the day, that's likely a Jordan, Bird, and Magic decision. It's likely not just
but not even that. Like maybe
who put the stamp? Who put the stamp on it though?
We don't know. But
I'm pretty sure Michael did, because I can see Michael. I can see Michael, Larry, and Magic getting together, and it's like, hey, Michael will just be like, just tell him I said it. Screw it.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. If Bird and Magic told Jordan, hey, listen, we need Isaiah, we want Isaiah on this team, then he on the team, bro. Like it is what it is. Like he would on the team. They don't have to like it.
Not if Jordan says I'm not going.
No. Hey, if Magic and Larry would have been like, look, he got multiple rings. We can't have these other guys on. They don't have multiple rings. You got at the time, Jordan.
They barely was in the league.
Hey, that
They
Olympic dream,
wasn't.
that dream team got paid like of course
Come on, man. That was a
that
promo run.
dream.
But you got to see doing that to Isaiah Thomas, right? At that time, you're trying to basically eliminate somebody from history who had his own huge
Right.
stamp on the game. Back-to-back champion.
Right, but I don't
He
think
beat a
that's
Jordan.
Jordan's
He
thing.
beat a
Yeah.
Magic. He beat a Bird. You know what I
Right,
mean?
and that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, don't let that whole listen. I don't know who had the final
40
stamp.
years later.
I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
At
I
the
don't
end
know
of the
who.
day,
40 years later, and it's not Magic and Bird that's talking shit about Zeke. It's him. It's
Am
MJ.
I coaching the team? Am I coaching the team?
But here's the thing.
Come
No, I
on,
don't.
man.
I don't think. But like, I don't think Jordan liked the fact that because Jordan never said he like Jordan. Jordan never simply said that like I stamped it. I'm the main reason why he's not on the team. Like he don't care. He don't necessarily care for it for that narrative per se. But like I said, I think, and maybe Isaiah Thomas and Larry Bird they apologized, whatever. Of course, Magic Johnson they were years till they had that sit down, whatever. But all I'm saying is though, regardless though, like I mean, that's more personal than a whole basketball beef. You get what I'm saying? That's more saying, especially that HIV stuff, and then that Larry Bird. That's more personal attack. You
Yeah,
get what
and
I'm
then
saying?
calling somebody the G word, but you hanging with them. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, no,
You see
they
what
were
I'm
like
saying?
real good friends too. No,
But you
they was
get
real good
my
friends.
point.
he
You
was
get my
cool
point.
with
That
Magic,
whole
bro.
Jordan, I think the Jordan beef got escalated over the years over basketball. It got escalated over
Yeah,
stupid stuff.
but bro, as a basketball player,
So he
Isaiah
taking they
Thomas did
beef.
nothing but sing. They sang each other's praises. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As basketball was
Right.
concerned, but personally, and I think it goes down to like the whole Chicago thing. How Jordan ended up kind of being more loved in Isaiah's hometown than even
The
Isaiah was.
respect thing.
But at the
I
end of
think
the
it
day,
was
us
because of the
basketball heads,
personal
we know what
relationship
was
they had.
not. Jordan said pretty well. The rumor is it's about that freeze out in that first All Star game when they froze him out. They said Isaiah was kind of behind that. You know, Jordan don't forget nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, you gonna freeze me out? I'm gonna freeze you out when I get the chance. You know,
But
and
like
that's just Mike,
to
man.
Isaiah, right? To like Zeke and everything from his perspective, like you know what I mean. He in his words, he showed love to Jordan when he was drafted to Chicago. He rolled out the red carpet for him. You know what I mean. He had his family come check on Jordan, see if he needed anything. And what Isaiah Thomas is saying is not me, but he kind of made things comfortable in Chicago while Jordan was getting acclimated to living in the city. So God knows what took place behind the scenes that none of us know. You know what I mean? But I think it's real personal. Their issues. I think
Yeah,
it
they got
goes deeper, way deeper than
Jordan
basketball.
Isaiah Thomas sit down would be crazy.
I always say
I think it goes way deeper than basketball. It goes way deeper than a handshake. It goes way deeper than a freeze out. It goes because once your families are intertwined and you got nephews over there at Jordan's house and your brothers are hanging with Jordan and y'all like it's something personal that happened behind the scenes, bro.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah,
No, I mean, I would agree. I would agray. I would just say, like, for us basketball heads, though, that ain't nothing but a photo op that he missed out on. Like, you can't take nothing away from Isaiah Thomas. Real, like, you can't. That's just a photo op. You know what I'm saying? Dream Team still blows everybody out by 40, 50, whether he's on the team or not. Like, you still Isaiah Thomas. You still got them. Like, you still one of the 50 greatest. You still all of that
It's
stuff.
just
So
another piece of history that he's not part of.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
like
what it is.
whether he's right or wrong, he feels like in all of those in that era, he's the one being erased out of history.
Nah, he not erased out. I think. I mean, he
ain't on now.
He was erased out of the photo op. That's really.
He erased out of Olympic history and all that.
A historic.
He got a gold medal though. He got a gold medal from college, right?
Yeah. So I mean, that being. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. What else? We got anything to talk? I mean, you got any? And you got any last words? And
yeah, no, I appreciate it. I know y'all. I've been kind of in and out. No, I wanted to jump on like what y'all was talking about earlier with the comments about players in the 80s and 90s not really being skilled. Now we already know that that's just BS anyway. But it's just a different metric. Like they think they're more skilled. because of the one-on-one stuff, and they can shoot threes and all of that. But the game kind of changed to allow them to do that. 14 seconds on an offensive rebound, so they done sped up the game, so it's naturally going to be more score. That's one thing. The defensive 3 seconds that's in there, you beat one defender, you at the rim, so defense naturally is going to shift to the perimeter. You know what I'm saying? They got stretch fours, all of that stuff now. So, I mean, it's just going to be a lot of just different stuff to kind of inflate numbers and all of that other stuff. But at the end of the day, those dudes back then, they played to win championships. If you wasn't winning championships, you really wasn't in that upper echelon. So that's why a lot of people took it personally. And I agreed with Magic's comments like, hey, if you ain't win no championships, understand what we was playing for. The great players that were known as great players, they were either really just that great or they were great within a system that won. They weren't just great by themselves and they could just lose all of the time, lose in the first round, lose in the second round. Those people are forgotten. Like you got to be reminded about people like Sidney Moncrief, as great as he was. You know, because that's what happens when you get bumped out of the first, second round every damn year.
And yeah, so people shit on Kevin Durant.
Yeah. I mean, you don't think Magic should have gave him some game though? Like at least like give him some at least give some education about like hold up though. Like I mean, some wisdom.
I mean, the dude doesn't really want any. He said he even gave out his disclaimer saying, I didn't watch these guys play. I didn't watch these guys play, but nobody had skill. It's like, bro, come on, bro. You playing the guard position. Forget even the point guard position. I get it, you're off guard. But if you can't mention dudes like Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson at them positions, and you telling me your favorite player is KD, and you don't even know about other dudes that played the three, Larry Bird, Dominique Wilkins, you gonna tell me these guys wasn't skilled? Like you crazy. You obviously don't know what you're talking about. And some of these dudes didn't even win championships, but they were that great. So, like, he shouldn't be checking it. That dude's gonna have to learn the hard way.
That's interesting take there.
So he ain't gonna realize it until 4 or 5 years from now, and he don't have no championship. And he gonna realize, yeah, I'm a great player. I got all that stuff, but the system ain't winning. Maybe it's either because it ain't the right system or I ain't playing right in the system. But something's got to change. Like he gonna realize that, but he's young, so he don't get it now. That's it.
Do you feel like I got a question, follow-up question for you like that? To that point, do you feel like there needs to be a better job from both ends of the spectrum on bridging the gap and teaching of the game to be passed down to the next generations?
Yeah, it does need to be a better job of it, but I don't know where it's gonna come from because it's bad because of that. You got the AAU system now, so these kids have never really been coached, bro. They've never been coached, and I don't know what you can do. And now you got NIL deals and everything else, bro. These guys are gonna come into the league as stars already, so you really can't tell them shit, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, I ain't gonna lie though. Like I mean, I think the league's in good hands. I'm not gonna take Anthony Edwards' comments like and try to generalize it from everybody else. Because if you look at the players that took the craft, I'm not saying Anthony Edwards don't take the craft serious because I mean clearly to get where he's at from where he's from, you know what I mean? He's a God gift the athlete and he works on his game. I ain't gonna take that away from him. But when it comes to like this, you gotta be. Can't just say ignorant statements like that. Even if you necessarily don't gotta agree with it. You can. I mean, if you think like nobody, like I don't think nobody had a problem if we said this era is more skilled. I don't think that would have been an issue. But saying just diminishing other eras and say only Jordan's the only person that's good.
I mean, it was ignorant, man. Let's not mistake.
So that's why. But the reason why I'm saying that is like I think we don't. I mean, we shouldn't just use that every statement and he's representing the era of the NBA now, which a lot of people don't agree with that from his era. It just, you know what I mean? Like people understand who's good, you know what I mean? As a matter of fact, I just saw a clip of Cooper Flag, man. This man did his top 5, man. He mentioned Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and he thinks Jordan, I mean, which was interesting, man. Cooper Flag like 19, Cooper Flag like 18 years old, talking about Jordan's the GOAT. Which is like it's rare seeing an 18-year-old say that. Like he had like Kareem in his top 5 and all that. So it's like, I mean, so don't take what Anthony Edwards say just because he may not his lack of knowledge of the game per se and from the previous years. Don't paint that like the this era, like everybody thinks that way from the players per se. That's not the case. It's just ever to say something.
I mean, I'm always gonna say. I mean, Magic's got a point. I'm like, well, even with Ant-Man, I'm like, bro, you can say that, but you just got to understand what them dudes was playing for. Like, bro, you just went 7 games and beat the defending champions, and you ain't win no championship. Come on, them dudes that you talking about, you beat the champs. You usually became the champs. I don't like. This is a different day and age. Like, what have you done? You ain't done nothing. So no wonder you don't know what you're talking about.
Sheesh, man.
Players are always going to
I don't disagree
stick up
with
for
that.
their own generation.
Yeah, I mean it's a good conversation to have, right? And me personally, looking at both sides of the spectrum, looking at this new generation from 2010 or 2015 on up, and looking at previous generations, if you want to point out the 80s and 90s, I just feel like there needs to be a better effort on both sides of bridging the gap and teaching the game and handing down the history of the game to the younger generation and understanding the history of the game and what it's went through to get to where it's at right now. You know what I mean? True, you brought up Cooper Flag. For him to even say that shows me he's a student of the game. Whether you have Jordan #1, whether you have Kobe #1, Kareem #1, LeBron #1, if he's taking the time to do that, and a lot of generational players, and a lot of people believe Cooper Flag will be a generational player. A lot of them have a sense of the history of the game. You know what I mean? Because their love of the game is so much that they do the work. They research the history of the game. But now you got a lot of kids, a lot of young people coming up, and they're not in it for the love of the game. They're in it for everything that comes around, whether that be the money, whether that be the brand deals, whether that be the females, whether that be the clout that comes with it. You know what I mean? So it's a difference, when in the 80s and the 90s, when guys is not making $40-50 million a year, and guys is making 6 figures, or the top guys is making $1 million or 1.2. It was more so for the love of the game. You know what I mean? But such as anything in life now, everything is commercialized. Everything, it became money over everything. So it's like you lose some of the essence of what it is to be a champion or to be in the game, or you know what I mean?
But also, I can understand where you're coming from. It should be they should do a better job, because when you call these dudes soft, you know what I'm saying? In this day and age, it's like, bro, you play in the era that you're in. It's not even their fault that it's a softer era, because they're like, oh, well, they got load management now. And these players don't choose to load manage. You might have a Kawhi or a couple of players that choose to do it, but they don't choose to do it. You know what I'm saying? The coaches, the medical personnel be telling you, your knee is sore, sit. Why? Because these dudes are worth $200-300 million damn dollars. You know what I'm saying?
Or
so
that's
it. Yeah.
To not hit a bonus.
You're worth more in May than you are in December. So they're gonna sit you. You know, I mean, these guys are worth so much money now that they had to do things. They had to take out hand checking and can't let dudes get clotheslined on their way to the rim no more. You know what I'm saying? You got to suspend people just for winding up with a punch. You got to kind of trying to protect the league's image. There's a lot of stuff from the 80s and 90s that you can't bring in today's league. Like you can't. Granted, it helped to build the league, but you just can't bring it. So it's not that these guys are soft, because I think if they had to play in the 80s and 90s, they would have been forced to toughen up. But everybody's worth so much money, you got to kind of handle it with care.
Oh yeah, these players are always going to be seen as assets to the organization. They gonna have to they got to take care of their assets.
That's what I'm saying. I just get like the dynamic change. As time changes, things are just going to change. The game evolved, the rules changed. It's just not the same game. But yeah, I know why. I know where the vitriol comes from a lot of these dudes, because they all know, like, yo, if they played in this era, them dudes would average like Will Chamberlain numbers. Guys like Magic and Bird and Michael. Like Jordan probably averaged like 47 points a night. Something stupid like that. In a league where you can't touch him. In a league where you can't touch him?
Is that so? Is that so? Hold up. Is that so?
Hell yeah, Dennis Rodman would average 20 rebounds a night.
With no jump shot. With no jump shot. He averaging 40 what?
Jordan had no jump shot?
with no jumper outside. No jumper, no
Jordan had
outside
no
jumper.
jump
How
shot.
the hell?
The
No
greatest scorer
outside
that ever
jumper.
lived had no jump
No
shot.
outside
Okay.
jumper. Yes.
Okay.
No outside jumper. How you gonna average
I
45?
refuse to argue with you any further.
Okay.
We're done.
How? Why? Why?
We're done.
Why
You're not
not?
making sense, bro.
How you gonna? How you
It's like
gonna average
arguing with a palm
45?
tree, bro. I'm not gonna bother.
How you gonna average 45 with no outside jumper?
I mean, how the hell you just said Jordan ain't had no damn jump shot? This dude's the greatest damn scorer ever.
He ain't got an outside
What
jumper.
are you talking about?
He ain't got an outside jump shot.
The dude averaged
What
30
you mean?
points a game for his life.
Okay.
In a league where you could clothesline people.
No, he couldn't. You couldn't touch MJ in the 90s. No, you couldn't. So what do you talk clothesline? When did MJ get clothesline in the 90s? What do you mean? They changed the rules for the boys. So what are you talking about?
Man, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Jordan have a game where that motherfucker scored had like 7 threes in the finals or something in the first half?
Okay. Can you depend on that?
You're talking about the system wasn't predicated to be shooting
it was
outside. Those dudes moved on the post. That's the way the system was set up.
It was a WNBA 3-point line, wasn't it?
Bro, do you understand? Okay, Jordan has played in multiple systems over the course of his career. When you go from high school to college under Dean Smith to when he came in the league under Kevin Lockery, and then with Doug Collins, and then with Phil Jackson later, played in multiple systems and was the best scorer possible in all of those different systems. So these guys had fundamentals that allowed them to move. Hold on. That allowed them to move and transition into any system. So if he had to play in a system like today, like the Warriors, where it's a souped up reverse triangle, where we don't play from the inside out, but we play from the outside in, he would have flourished just as much.
How, if he's never proven that he can shoot above, 33% from the three?
The system wasn't predicated. You got to keep in mind, these dudes grew up where there was no 3-point line. There was no 3-point line until they finished college.
So he would have to get better then as a shooter, right?
I'm just saying the 3-pointer wasn't
45. To average 45, he would have to get better as a shooter, wouldn't he?
No, he would just have to shoot more often, just like Larry Bird, just like Mark Price, just like, you know what I'm saying, just like a lot of these dudes.
He averages 22 shots a game for his career, number 2 all time. You want him to shoot more?
Well, he would have to shoot more. There would be more possessions because when there's an offensive rebound, the shot clock only goes to 14 seconds now rather than 24.
And shooting 30,
because there's also no hand checking allowed, so his face-up game would have been a lot more of an asset to him, kind of like Kobe's was, rather than his back to the basket post-up game. So
they called hand checking in the 80s and 90s. They called hand checking in the 80s and 90s.
You were allowed to hand check. You were allowed to put your hands on another player's hip.
So you acting like they didn't.
You can't
so you
do
acting
that
like
now.
they didn't. So
No, you
you're
can't
acting like
do
they
it
didn't.
now. You can't do it now. That's why guys don't back the ball. That's why guys don't back the ball down in mid-court anymore. But they were doing it all through the 80s and 90s because
somebody's gonna come from somewhere else and rip you.
because guys could hand check.
Leave your man.
They can't do it now. So you can face up now.
Hey, why do you think?
Face up now.
Why do you think the guards in the 90s had to turn their back to the defender?
Because hand checking was allowed. Is that simple?
Okay, so hold on, no. So let's just be real. For anybody that's actually picked up a basketball and actually played at a competent level, high school, college, D1, for example, like myself, the only time I'm ever forced to turn my back as a guard on the perimeter is when I'm not confident in my handle. And that's just the natural thing to do to protect the ball, right? When you don't have a bona fide handle, you always go to using your body to shield the defender off the man. The hand check was never in basketball. First of all, in today's game, they still hand check to a certain degree. The problem with the hand check is because you have so many face-up guards, the hand check has become irrelevant. You cannot hand check a guard that's willing to face you up and that can go from left to right and take your ankles. If you try to get up under him with a hand check, all he's going to end up doing is using your body weight against you. You're going to be on the ground on the next highlight tape somewhere looking crazy. So the hand check only worked on guards that struggle to handle the ball. So when you look at, Gilbert Arenas talked about the first prototypes that came into the NBA, the Allen Iversons, the Grant Hills, guys that were able to face up and really test your ankles, and they weren't going to always turn their back and allow you just to put that arm there. Well, Grant Hill couldn't shoot a lick, but was able to score whenever he wanted in the 90s simply because he had a face-up dribble and could just get to the rim because nobody knew how to guard him or could guard him left to right with his handle. When you go to Iverson, Nobody could guard that man in the 90s. I mean, even refs were just trying to figure out: do we call carry? What do we do? How do we stop this guy? Because the thing is, when a guard is willing to face up, Stockton was never willing to face up and go attack. And even the guards in the 90s that did face up and attack had a lot of success. So if you look at the guards like Rod Strickland, that Muhammad Abdul-Rauf that said, "Bump this turning my back bullshit. I'm gonna face you up and I'm about to burn your ankles." They gave all the good defenders on the perimeter all types of problems. So turning your back to the defender is just indicative of you just not being a very skilled ball handler. Hold on. First of all, I'm just saying I've seen it a ton. First of all, my backup point guard when I coached this year did that a ton because he wasn't very quick left or right. Quicker defenders were able to get up under him, and he struggled with the face-up game. Sometimes it just happens like that. It's just something. It's just a protective move that you go to as a basketball player when you know, one, you're not as quick as your defender because these defenders can beat you to a spot, make you turn, force you into different parts of the zone that put you into trouble. So let's not lie. And I think one of the biggest problems about 90s fans is that they've taken this hand check concept and making it seem like it's a weapon. And when really the hand check, as a guard, I would love for you to hand check me because as long as you're hand checking me, I know exactly where all your body weight is. And if I know where your body weight is, and now I'm playing angles, 1-2 dribbles, I'm attacking your high leg, you barbecue chicken. In 2 dribbles, it just makes you way easier to defend when you want to go hand check. It's just not a very good defensive strategy. It's just odd to me that 90s fans try to bloviate this as if it was some defensive weapon. It was only a weapon against poor ball handlers. So it was never. So in today's game, it's just not a very good weapon. So when you talk about how Jordan's game would translate, I think the best example of how Jordan's game would translate is you look at the instances in Jordan's prime when he was thrust into basketball that was zone oriented. For example, the 92 Olympics. So when Jordan was thrust into basketball that was a little bit more similar to today's game, where you have more zone looks. Well, look at how Jordan fared in the 92 Olympics. One, his jump shot wasn't the same. So he struggled to score. I think he might have been the 4th or 5th best scorer on that team. The best 2 players on that team were the face-up guys like Charles Barkley and the best 3-point shooter on that team in Chris Muller. Those were the 2 best scorers. And then Karl Malone also had some success as well in the other bigs. Jordan was essentially super high volume, the least efficient shooter on the 92 Dream Team, just really took a ton of shots to get his little, I think, 12, 13 points per game. So he on top of the fact that he shot 19% from the 3-point line. So he couldn't make threes. He couldn't handle the zone, right? And this is not taken away from Jordan, but when you say that he can get these jump shots off, right, in an era where you're allowed to now load up on the strong side and illegal defense isn't really hampering the defense, well, Jordan has shown throughout his career that when teams are able to significantly zone up without handcuffs, it impacts his game. This is also something that Jordan has said himself. Jordan said, if zones were in, my career as a scorer would not have been the same. This is what came out of his own mouth.
Because
so at the end of the day, so when you say that he can come into this game and drop 46, it's extremely difficult because I think Jordan, first of all, he's a high IQ player. So Jordan's not stupid enough, if he did play in today's game, he's not stupid enough to go out and try to score 46 the way defenses go out and deploy and would attack him. So when y'all say he could, well, I believe that if KD decided to go take 30 shots a game, he could average that, but it's a stupid strategy. I believe that there's a lot of players in this league, if they really wanted to try to average 40, they could, but it's a dumb losing strategy. So no good basketball player is actually going to try to do it. So unless you're telling me that Jordan was a dumb player and he would go out and try to score 40, even pushing against the grain of defenses that would load up on him and take away, and he couldn't shoot threes, so they would guard him just like they did in the 90s, like they guard Draymond Green. So let him shoot threes all day. He's not going to beat you from the 3-point line. Well, if you're telling me he's a dumb player, then that's essentially what you're saying when he will go out and try to score 40.
Actually,
you're telling me he's a dumb basketball player.
No, what I'm telling you is he's a very, very smart, skilled player. So what he's going to do, no matter what, he's going to score about 35% of his team's overall points.
Let me ask you a question. So in the 92 Olympics, what was this scoring?
Bro, he's on there with a bunch of other superstars, dude. It's a glorified
He shot more than everybody on that team. Why did he struggle?
He's
But why
Jordan.
did he
He's not
struggle?
with his teammates. He can't get the rhythm. Everybody else is
Why?
getting off. I'm not going to compare it.
How did he not get his rhythm? He
He's
shot the most
Jordan.
shots.
92, bro. What I'm saying is, for this
He took
dude's
the most shots.
professional, what I'm saying is, in this dude's professional career, this guy averaged about 35% of his team's overall scored points. I don't see how that would change
Lowest
even in today's game. The difference is
second.
these teams aren't scoring 102 points a game. They're scoring about 125
Exactly.
points a game now. So what is
Well,
that?
what was the average points per game in the 90s? It wasn't 102.
It was
Much higher
about
than that.
98. No, it wasn't much.
No, it was higher
actually
than that.
higher
Yes, it
in the
was.
80s. It was higher
It was
in
in
the
the
80s.
hundreds.
Now, you
No,
can
it
look
was
it
in the
up. I'll
hundreds.
look it up. I'll look it up real quick since we got to check on it. It's about 105, maybe, if that. But I'll check it.
Okay.
Go ahead, bro.
And so one thing you have to think about is this. Rod Thorne, the reason why they got rid of illegal defense is because they said teams like the Bulls, teams like the Utah Jazz, teams like the Spurs, teams like the Knicks were abusing the illegal defense. What they would do is they would slow the game down to a bore, meaning the scores would be lower, possessions would be fewer, the game would be more boring. They would isolate their best player on one side of the floor just to force teams to have to abide by the illegal defense rules. You can literally see every time a players try to shift over and go into Jordan's airspace, players pointing, oh, he's illegal, because they're trying to bait teams in the illegal defense. So they force teams to play by the illegal defense rules, space the floor out, slow the game down to a bore. And we know at the NBA level in any era, nobody can be guarded 1v1. No superstar in any era can be guarded 1v1. It takes significant help to stop the stars. And so Jordan just wanted these one-on-one matchups versus, in that particular era, the worst shooting guards in NBA history. Around the board. I mean, this was, as far as defense and offense in the 90s, these are the worst shooting guards we've ever had in NBA history. And so he was able to barbecue very small, very, very, very subpar shooting guards. Nobody could stop him, and the rules helped him, on top of the fact that the league also gave him every single foul call that he needed to turn him into a free throw merchant as well. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. I mean,
saying Jordan was average like 40 in this league is crazy.
No, there's no 40s. There's no 40.
Okay, no. In the 80s it was 109.3 a game. In the 90s it was 101.3. 90s.
Yeah, the 80s was a faster pace.
2000s was actually the worst, with 97 points a game approximately.
Yeah, it was the most offensive era.
But yeah, like I said, about 101, 102 a game, bro.
And so you're telling me that
average 30.
See, and so the toughest defensive era was actually the 2000s. And the 2000s birthed LeBron, and we saw what LeBron did to the 2000s.
Well, no, that's not what I'm not saying that. A lot of other folks they're looking at the total amount of points scored, and they equate that to being a tougher defensive era. I just understand that the way that the game is played kind of changes things. You know what I'm saying? Because you're talking about threes, and also there are free throws as well. So there are points that are scored without the clock moving. So those whistles are being blown. That all of those things kind of change things. So
can you tell me one team in the league today that's able to have significant success where one man is doing 30, 40% of the workload on the offensive side of the ball?
The Golden State Warriors, if need be, if you just got just play from 3-point line to 3-point line.
No. I said,
brothers.
I said one team in the league where they say where they're trying to win games where one player is doing 30 to 40% of the offensive workload. One player, not a collective. One player.
You mean a winning?
It's a losing.
Does that? It is a losing.
It's a losing strategy.
I would agree. It is.
So in this era, if you're telling me that Jordan's going to go out and score 40 a game, you're basically telling me a team that's going to struggle to make the play-in.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, in today's NBA, that is highly likely. It depends on the system that you have around him. I don't think Jordan is as successful without the triangle, just like Kobe Bryant wasn't successful without the triangle. Just was what it was.
To show Cap like he would have been.
I never said he would.
Young gets like 35%.
He did like he could have thrived in any system if he ever wanted to.
As long as there is a system, most of these teams ain't playing one though. Let's keep it real.
Hold on, what teams aren't playing a system?
They're not playing a real system. They're playing inverted.
Okay, give me an example of one team. No, just give me an example of one team that doesn't play any system. Just one.
That doesn't play any system. Get a look at the Houston Rockets, for example.
Okay, so we know that they have a system just based on their coach.
What kind of system is it though? That's what I mean.
Okay, so they made popular, especially last year, when you look at the success of Alfred Sengun, best number one team in the NBA in pistol actions. So they ran a lot of pistol actions. They were young, they played fast. So to you, to the unknowing eye, you seeing a team play fast, you thinking they're not running sets, but they're spamming pistol actions all day. So their primary system was the pistol system because he's playing to the youth and playing to the speed of the team. So there was a system there.
Okay, all right. So when you look at like players like a Kevin Durant, for example, these are guys that will fit into just about any system. Any system. But then you got guys like James Harden that say, well, I don't fit into systems, I am a system, type of things like that. So that's the difference. Now, when you look at a few years ago, when Phil Jackson was the general manager of the Knicks or whatever, he wanted to implement the triangle. It didn't work. Does that mean the triangle doesn't work, or does that mean they didn't have the personnel? Because when you break down the film, Porzingis played the triangle pretty well, but Melo didn't cut hard. You know what I'm saying? JR didn't do what he was supposed to do consistently. Like, there are things that like you need the right personnel, and you still got to execute. Just because you're playing the system doesn't mean you have the personnel.
No, so
and
the weakness of the triangle offense is, everybody knows I've talked about this. One, it was, you have significant advantages of running it in the 90s because of illegal defense, right? That's so now going into this era. Now, one of the major struggles with the triangle offense is because the triangle offense is predicated on creating that triangle. That means you're operating with three guys on the strong side of the basketball. Well, what is the strength of defenses today? They can now zone up. They can now send significant help over. And so when you now send significant help over, it makes everything that you do out of that. Now, what can you do like the Golden State Warriors did with the triangle to counter that? You space those defenders out even more with elite 3-point shooting, but it takes some snipers like Clay. It took Clay, Steph, and KD. Yeah. Hold on, listen. It took Clay. These are some of the greatest scorers in NBA. It took 3 of the greatest scorers in NBA history to really bring back the triangle. It's just not a realistic offense to really try to institute right now because it's too easy to defend if you don't have supreme personnel. So if you're telling me Jordan would thrive in the triangle, but you have to give him Steph and KD, well, again, now you're looking at another super team. So
I would say the same thing. Same with Kobe. Kobe could thrive in the triangle, but you still had to give him Shaq. You had to give him Pau Gasol. Like, it just is what it is. Some systems work, but you still got to have the personnel to pull it off. So I agree with everything that you just said when it comes to that. The triangle's not going to work for every team. You still need the personnel, and you got to execute.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's some great conversations, man. Like I said, Lamont, shout out to Ant.
Yeah, shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to the panel. Yeah. Shout out to the chat, man. Right. Chat, appreciate you guys rocking with us, man. Showing up and showing out every Tuesday, 3:30 p.m. right here In the Zone, right here on FYF Sports Debate. Y'all keep getting them likes up, man. True, talk to the people.
Yeah, man. Like I said, man, appreciate everybody from tuning in. Like I said, shout out to everybody came through. Even Lamont came through. We know when Scott Pippen get mentioned, you know he pops up. He pops up. You know what I mean? Scott,
the most disrespected player in NBA history.
Man, come on, man. That's a fact, dog. Man. Tater coming up there. I think he'll be there when it's all said and done.
How you 6-0 in the finals? How you 6-0 in the finals? You ain't getting top 20 consideration.
Oh, here we go, man.
How you 6-0?
Come on, man. Hey, man. See, you're gonna get people started.
Is it more disrespectful than Russell?
You say it's not even a possibility, man.
Hey, hold on. Now it's 5 people in the backstage, Lamont. It's like, nah. But listen, man. But like you said, it was a great stream, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Like I said, shout out to Ant popping through, Tony, Herm, Mac Def, So Crazy had to go. But yeah, man, like I said, man, another great stream, man.
Another zone out in the book.
Hey, who's the guy that just pulled up? Who is that I was talking to?
That's Ant T.
Who is it?
Ant, that's his name. Ant. That's
his name. So hey, man, we gotta get you on here more, man. It's not a lot of people that actually come in and come with at least come with try to get some solid takes in, man. So we gotta get you on here more.
I appreciate it, man. This was a cool. I've been listening to y'all cook all day. I just got finished working, so I was like, I'll come up, bro. I saw the link drop.
You got your own channel?
For sure.
You got your own channel?
Yeah, I got a couple of them. One, of course, I got a super chat in there. I sent a super chat earlier, so if you want to drop the link to it, room,
Oh
and
yeah, hold on.
our
I'm
channel
out.
is
Yeah,
home.
yeah. Shout out you again once again for the super chat, man.
Oh
Shout out
yeah,
to
yeah,
y'all.
because we travel too. We'll come over there too, man. We'll cook you over there too, man. So
Come on, man.
The Boulder, I'm
Hey,
definitely
that's a fact.
yeah. Cause I'm definitely
hey, I
yeah.
gotta support the name though, because I'm a Boilermaker from Purdue,
Yeah.
so I like the name.
I just subscribe too. Y'all just
Appreciate you. Nah, I
subscribe.
Yes, sir.
appreciate you.
Make sure.
I appreciate that, man. Like I said, man.
Yes, sir,
Look,
man. Shout out to
thanks
everybody
for
that
having me up,
pulled up,
man.
man.
Yes,
Appreciate you.
sir, Ant. Yes, sir. We gotta get them on more.
Absolutely, man. Like I said, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Like I said, like I said, we live right now. You know what I mean, shout out to Moose. Shout out, like I said, we live on our own channels right now. So like I said, listen, shout out. That's Ant came from. You know what I mean? Shoot. Like, hey, we all here. We all live. Like I said, go subscribe to our channels. SoKrazyTV, Renegade,
Yes,
Moose.
sir.
Go subscribe to us,
Yes, sir.
man. Like I said, and also subscribe to FOF if you ain't subscribed. So.
Yes, sir. Smash
What
that
else is?
subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and share the video, man. Guys, we about to put a wrap on another great episode of In the Zone right here on FYF Supports. Once again, salute to the chat, the realest chat. It ain't many of us, but less is more, so there's plenty of us, man. Continue to smash that like button, share the video, support all these brothers up here on the panel, all these guys that got their own channels. People take good time out of their day to give you these takes, produce these shows, all of that. Continue to support, man. We appreciate it, man. We about to slide up out of here, but before we do that outro, saying, people, peace and love, family.
Peace.
I'm up at the break of dawn. Gotta keep it moving, got my A game face on. No time to waste, cause time marches on. Gotta get in the game. It's the only way to win something. 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 Yeah. I'm up at the break of dawn. Gotta keep it moving, got my A game face on. No time to waste, cause time marches on. Gotta get in the game. It's the only way to win something. 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 Yeah. I'm up at the break of dawn. Gotta keep it moving, got my A game face on. No time to waste, cause time marches on. Gotta get in the game. It's the only way to win something. 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 Yeah. It's the only way to